It's an opportunity for Memphis to bounce back after a bad loss against UCF a week ago, while their American Conference foes, UConn, trying to bounce back themselves. They've had some close losses, maybe an upset tonight. You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. Tonight from Pratt & Whitney Stadium, Rensselaer Field in downtown Hartford. Taking the field now, the Memphis Tigers, their opponent, the UConn Huskies, looking for their first conference win. So is Memphis after a tough loss in Orlando a week ago. Hello again, everyone, along with Jen Latta and Mac Brown. I'm Dave Lamont, and we thank you very much for joining us. UConn, they're having a tough time, but they're scoring, Mac, 110 points already through 4 games, and it starts with their quarterback.
It's all about Brian Sheriffs. He's a guy that was in the doghouse last year, Dave, at the end. And then even early this year, he had to come off the bench in the opener against Holy Cross to lead them back to a win. But he is a guy that's smart. He's tough. He's become a great leader for them, and he's learning the new playbook, and he's getting better each week. He's not trying to win the game himself. He's just a guy trying to get the ball in the right place.
He's had back-to-back 400-yard games. And we know Memphis can score some points. They have a fine quarterback in Riley Ferguson, and what a target he has in Anthony Miller.
Yeah, we've got a real story in Anthony Miller. Here's a guy that didn't have any offers out of high school. He was a preferred walk-on. His mom even told Coach Dickey, the assistant coach that recruited him, you better give him a chance. Well, not only did he get a chance, now he's a record-breaking superstar. He's fast, he's quick, he can jump, he can catch. He's so good in open field that he's like a puff of smoke because they can't tackle him.
And would you believe he was a walk-on? No offers?
No.
How's that possible?
No. Well, it just shows you that coaches don't always know what they're doing in recruiting. May I say.
With some exceptions, of course.
With some exceptions.
UConn won the toss, and UConn will receive. They're in the home blues with a little red, and Memphis brings out the tiger stripe pants tonight for this American Conference matchup.
Let's just put it this way, Dave. I'm glad I wasn't the one that missed him.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people did. He's a good player.
Kyle Buss stands back at the goal line awaiting the kick from a Memphis team that's trying to bounce back. That loss in Orlando to what looks like a very good UCF team shook them up a little bit. At times they pressed in that game, and that only made matters worse, but they felt like they bounced back very nicely this week and very quickly at practice for head coach Mike Norvell and his staff. Randy Edsall back on the sideline for UConn. We'll have more on his return to a place that he put on the college football map several years ago. We are finally ready to begin. This is returnable for Buss at the 5. Gets one block, gets outside the 20-yard line, and he'll be stopped shy of the 25-yard line. So we'll get our first look at Brian Sheriffs in a moment. But first, let's get our first look at Jen Latta. Jen?
Well, hey there, guys. There were 2,188 days from the time that Randy Edsall left UConn till the time he returned. He said not a lot really changed in those 6 years. He still parks in the same spot in the garage, still goes to the same office, and actually he left something from his first tenure at UConn. He was packing his office. He found this paperweight sitting on the refrigerator. It's a monogram paperweight, guys. It was actually his. He tells us it feels like home, and a lot of the office staff was the same. He said that's a huge benefit because he didn't have to teach people new tricks. They knew who he was. They knew what he wanted. Coach, how much of a benefit is that when you're starting with a program?
So Randy Edsall, you take a look at him there. He left UConn following the Fiesta Bowl, and then went to the University of Maryland, was released in the middle of the 2015 season, spent some time with the Lions as he watches his team on 2nd down and 9, and they will get a first down with Quavon Skanes, number 19, getting outside the 35 to the 36-yard line. That's a gain of a dozen.
And Jen, that's a great story. It's really important that the head coach comes in. He's got some familiarity. He's comfortable with staff. He's comfortable with what's going on. It was a stable program when he left, and I'm sure he'll get it back.
They have not had a winning record since he left. As we take a look at somebody who understands the ups and downs of UConn football quite well, Brian Sheriffs, out of Jefferson, Georgia, graduate. He'll have Arkel Newsome now, number 22 in the backfield, who's an excellent receiver out of that backfield. He'll get a handoff here and pop through. And Newsome into Memphis territory. He might have a chance to score. He'll tie off the sideline to the 5. And is it a touchdown? Yes! 64 yards for Newsome.
This is the perfect drive for UConn to start this ball game. A couple of swing passes to get the quarterback comfortable, then a dive play up inside, and Newsome just outruns them to the boundary.
Looks like he got in, even though the replay official will take a little extra time with this, but it appears that it is a touchdown. It's confirmed. And Mac, did we not hear, even from the Connecticut coaches, complaining about slow starts in games?
So they've started slowly every week, and they've got to change it. Well, the way to change it is hit 3 quick passes and have a run scored up the middle for a touchdown. So this is the perfect start.
77-yard drive, 3 plays in 1 minute and 16 seconds. That's a Memphis kind of drive. Memphis is a big play offense, but this time it's the senior from Ansonia, Connecticut, Arkel Newsome. Beautiful block from the receiver, and he's gone. Arkel Newsome just busted a 64-yard touchdown run on the Memphis defense. Stat of the day, his yards per carry coming in, 1.7. He had 39 yards rushing. And now he's added 64 to that, and that average will rise considerably. Watch for this guy, Tony Pollard. 2 touchdown returns already. Take a look at how long it was for Memphis. 7,200 plus days in between touchdown returns. And Mike Norvell and his staff arrive. Tony Pollard gets unleashed, and he has taken 4 back to this season. His average 39.9, but you have a kicker with 15 touchbacks in 22 attempts. This one will be his 16th touchback, and Memphis will take it at the 25-yard line. So here is Riley Ferguson, a senior out of Matthews, North Carolina, a genuine odyssey in his career to wind up during the 2nd year starting quarterback for this Memphis team. Started at Tennessee. That didn't work out. Took a year off when he couldn't find a place to play. Went to community college for a year, was a stud there, and has become a stud for Memphis, as the numbers show you, over 17 games. The hard part is imagining that he had a year away from football the way he plays. The handoff, this is Pollard, and he'll pick up 3. 2nd down and 7 coming up.
Yeah, Ferguson was the #1 junior college player 2 years ago, coming out of Coffeyville Junior College after a year off, and he's very, very accurate.
Empty backfield here for Ferguson. Now they'll motion Pollard in toward the slot and get it right to him. And Pollard has great speed, as you probably guessed, but he will run himself into a tackle. That is actually number 3, Anthony Miller, and Chris Britton, number 33, with a tackle. So that time they went with a wide receiver, Miller, a redshirt senior, and he will lose a yard. It'll be 3rd and long.
Super job by Miller, staying where he's supposed to for the cutback. Really good defensive play by him. 3rd downs have been a problem on both sides of the field, Dave, for these 2 teams. Big 3rd down to start the ball game.
Ferguson over there, Miller, and he makes the grab to the 45-yard line, and he'll land right on the nose of the Husky at midfield. 1st down, Memphis, a 23-yard gain.
That's where Memphis can get you. They had good pressure on him. They had a little X-stun up front. They were trying to get more pressure on 3rd down. Ferguson sits in the pocket tall. It's Miller, his best player for the square end.
Huskies have 7 sacks from their defense so far. Henderson in motion on the jet sweep. He'll get cut down after an 8-yard pickup. Solid gain that time for the sophomore. They will not have Memphis Patrick Taylor available tonight. A very good running back, a sophomore. So you'll see a lot of number 8 Henderson and number 28 Dorland Dorcius, who's finally healthy after a slow start.
Memphis is doing a lot on the edge to try to utilize their speed against the slower secondary from UConn.
Memphis finally gets their personnel squared away. They had too many men in the field for a moment. Fake to Henderson. Ferguson in trouble. Can he get away? He can, and he'll throw it away. There is a receiver in the area. Ferguson just slung that one. 3rd down and 2 coming up.
It's really good pressure. He came from the corner. He was untouched. And Fort is a young guy that they're really excited about. He's got to keep contained. He took his shot. Give Ferguson credit for not taking the sack and throwing the ball away.
Henderson is the tailback here. Rolling right. Caught. First down and a lot more for the Tigers. John Pop Williams with the grab and a dozen yards on the pickup. First down to the 30-yard line for the Tigers.
Memphis coaches were concerned about third downs and staying on the field. They've got a consistent drive going here the first time they've touched the ball.
This time Ferguson. That's a run-pass option, the classic definition of, and the ball is dropped. Incomplete there by Williams to the 27-yard line. Second down and 10. Ferguson there, Mac, flirted with going over the line of scrimmage.
He really did it. He could have turned up and probably should have. That was a run pass drop, not option, and it's not part of it. So Ferguson should have turned up, stayed ahead of the chains, and made his 4 yards in that situation.
This is the 8th play of the drive coming up. Fake to Henderson. Ferguson to the middle, incomplete. Good coverage that time by Taj Herring-Wilson, who was all over Mayhew. There is a flag down, but it's at the 26-yard line. And that's going to go against Memphis. Looks like we're going to get an eligible man downfield. Our referee, by the way, is Tracy Jones. Just making sure what
an eligible receiver downfield offense, number 71. The penalty is declined. Third down.
Start Gabe Kuhn, a redshirt senior. The penalty is declined. Sets up 3rd 10.
Yeah, it often happens with a run-pass option, but very seldom when you're throwing a slant are you going to have a guy downfield. They still fake the run, but he turns it loose on the slant. You can only be 3 to 4 yards downfield. It's a tough call against Memphis.
Pressure, Ferguson down the middle, and it's caught down to the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown for the Tigers. And the catch made by Memphis's number 5, Sean Dykes. The 2nd string tight end. It's a 30-yarder for Dykes' first touchdown of the season. And a stadium that had been so noisy just about 60 seconds ago has gone quiet after a 9-play, 75-yard drive in 2 minutes and 42 seconds. And just like that, we kind of anticipated an offensive show tonight, and we might be getting that from 2 quarterbacks, experienced seniors. Sheriffs for UConn, and Ferguson finding Dykes, finds the end zone.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by AT&T.
I don't know about you, Mac. I see the grilled onions. I need them a little more blackened for my flavor anyway. But that's a little tailgate from fans from both schools here, just outside downtown Hartford. 7-7 in this one. We've had UConn with a 77-yard touchdown drive. Memphis then countered 9 plays, 75 yards in this American Conference. Still, both teams looking for their first win in conference. Memphis picked by the media to win the West in the American.
We have 2 young defenses that have some communications issues, so they've got to work through those tonight. There's a lot of speed on the field for both teams, offensively.
Offensively, both these teams are very, very potent. This is Buss. He's a little bit of trouble as he tries to get outside. He'll be tossed out of bounds at the 27-yard line by Leandre Thomas. Want to remind you about Saturday, Paul Bunyan Trophy on the line at the Big House. Michigan State and 7th-ranked Michigan. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC. Streaming live, of course, on the ESPN app. Presented by Wells Fargo is this traditional matchup. Michigan State versus Michigan. O'Korn now the quarterback for Jim Harbaugh. This will be a lot of fun. Spartans have done very well lately. Arkell Newsom, who ran the 64-yarder, stays in a tailback as Sheriff stripped back to pass and has all sorts of time. Finally on the run, guns it deep down the field, and an intended receiver was Tyreek Beals, but we have a flag down 35-yard line. Jannard Avery, get used to hearing that name, number 6 in white, putting the pressure on Sheriffs.
When quarterbacks scramble.
Ineligible downfield, offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, first down.
When quarterbacks scramble, offensive linemen lose the launch point for the quarterback. They're not sure where he is. They think he may run, so they have a tendency to get downfield too far.
Mac, is there typically a code word that gets yelled out when something like that happens and a play breaks down so everybody knows?
No, because you can't hear it. You just got to feel the quarterback. And Bryant's a guy that's going to run around tonight, so they're going to have to be patient and try to help him.
First down and 15. We've got 2 of those man downfield penalties already in this opening quarter. Again, a good pocket for Sheriff. Now it collapses, and he's taken down at the 21-yard line. Christian Johnson, number 15, out of Memphis, a redshirt senior with a sack. It's a loss of 2.
The sack comes over number 74, Ryan Vandemark, and he's going to be a great player, but he's a true freshman. He's 265 pounds and just didn't have enough body weight and strength right now to keep Johnson out of the backfield and keep him from punishing the quarterback.
Newsome stays in. Again, he's a great weapon out of the backfield for UConn. 15 catches, and he averages almost 21 yards per catch. He blocks this time. Sheriff throws. Looked like there was some contact, and here comes the flag at the 36-yard line. The intended receiver was Mason Donaldson.
Defense, number 22, automatic, first down.
And that was an easy call for this officiating crew.
Lindsey's a redshirt freshman. He just gets there too soon. Play the ball, son. Ball's in the air. You can't hit the guy before the ball gets there. He could have tried to step in front of Donaldson and intercepted the ball. Poor play from the inexperienced secondary player.
Memphis has just 1 returning starter from last year, and safety Jonathan Cook, number 14. They brought in a JC transfer in Tito Wyndham, number 24. But then you've got freshman Carter and a redshirt freshman. Nice snap. Sheriff's manages, throws into a crowd of people. Incomplete. Sheriff's got dumped after the play, but no flag. Austin Hall brought the heat. It'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, probably a trick play. They huddled up quickly. They had 4 wide receivers to the left. It was a bad snap, so we'll never know whether it was a trick play or not. But they're going to have to do something abnormal, unconventional with this offense to score enough points to beat Memphis.
This will be a give to Newsome. Picking his way through a crowd. He'll get a yard. It'll be third down and 9 coming up. Gang tackling by that Memphis defense. Saw Ernest Suttles in there, 48 among many others.
Offensive coordinator Rhett Lashley came from Auburn. He's put in the Gus Malzahn system. I think he's done a good job with play selection to start this ball game.
Take a look at Lashley.
Has to have different launch points with his quarterback because his inexperienced offensive line cannot protect well enough to take care of him.
Sheriff throws and just missed the intended receiver, Keon Dixon, the redshirt freshman from Glastonbury, Connecticut. It'll be 4th down. First time UConn sees a third down offensively. They cannot convert.
Yeah, Dixon can fly. He had a long post route for a touchdown against SMU last week. One of the problems with Sheriffs is he just has not been as accurate on the deep ball as they want.
It'll be John Williams awaiting the punt from Brett Graham out of State College, Pennsylvania. A redshirt freshman. Pretty good kick, a little wobble on it. And we'll head out of bounds at around the 25-yard line where Memphis began their opening drive, and Riley Ferguson led them to a touchdown. He'll get another chance when we return.
All ESPN coverage is streaming live on the ESPN app. Download now and take ESPN everywhere.
7-7 opening quarter here, downtown Hartford, UConn and Memphis. We see FBF coaches under 40, and third youngest right now is Mike Norvell from Memphis. Lincoln Riley vaulted to the top spot when he took over from Bob Stoops. Mike Sanford in his first year in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Some great young coaches in that group. And may I say, for the old guys, Bill Snyder, will be 78 years old tomorrow in Austin, Texas. So give Coach Snyder credit too.
Getting through the traffic is Henderson, and he'll get out a 6-yard pickup. Well, also on that list, one of your former players, Major Applewhite, who's half of Bill Snyder in age.
Major's doing a great job at Houston. Proud of him.
One more time, and this time UConn ready to handle that sweep. Pollard brought down by the very aggressive Vontae Diggs, the senior out of Downers Grove, Illinois, that loses the 6 they just gained. It's 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, negative plays were what the Memphis coaches talked about trying to get rid of, trying to avoid. They get plays on 1st down. Really bad play there to put them in a 3rd and long.
And they are 3 out of 3 3rd down tonight. UConn threatening blitz. We have whistles. We're going to have a false start against Memphis.
False start. Offense, number 3, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
You don't very often see that on a receiver.
3rd down defense has been a real problem for the Husky defense. So this will be interesting. Looks like they're going to play with a 3-man rush, and they're doing that because they're going to try to keep people in the field, play zone, make them throw the ball underneath the chains.
Ferguson stepping away. He will throw under the change, but don't forget Memphis has some great talent, but Miller is brought down short of the 6 by a couple of yards. It'll be 4th down and 2.
Perfect defensive call for Connecticut. Keep him in front of you. All you needed to do was make them punt.
Memphis will bring out punter Spencer Smith, who led the American last year in punting. And you've got Jordan Swan, number 30, who's averaging almost 9 yards a return. That's very good for the Huskies. Little rugby style rip. Line drive here. Swan will catch up and get, and he did not maintain any kind of possession, and that ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to be UConn ball. Memphis could not fall on it inbounds, and Austin Hall, number 25, was not able to get it to the 15-yard line and keep it in.
This was a tremendous punt. What coverage by Memphis. The ball is on the sideline. The most consistent player on the Memphis defense, Austin Hall, tries to get all over it. You've got to have possession before it goes out of bounds. Ball goes back to Connecticut. Lucky break for Connecticut.
It ends up being plus 52 for Memphis there. I think that was Pollard on the hit. And a clean hit, by the way, as Swan did not make a fair catch. So Brian Sheriff gets his roughest field position to start a drive tonight. Newsom stays in the tailback position. We haven't seen Kevin Mensah or Nate Hopkins yet.
And they couldn't protect Sheriff's last time with the drop back pass. They're going to have to move the launch point of the quarterback or run the football some with him and with the backs to make this thing work.
Short gain there. Sharif White, what they call a cat linebacker. After a 2-yard gain, 2nd down and 8 coming up. Run, oh, he fakes it, run pass option down the middle, wide open to the 30, 25-yard line. Tyler Davis.
When you can't beat the guys deep because of their speed, you use play action. Sheriff's tried to look like he was running the same quarterback power, step back, hits his tight end down the middle of the field. Huge play for Davis. So very well designed play.
A 64-yard run. That was a 61-yard pass. This will be a very short gain for Newsom of a yard. Tito Wyndham in there, number 24 on the stop. A junior college transfer he mentioned out of Northwest Mississippi, CC.
Yeah, we're not seeing Kevin Mensah much, and he's been a really good player for him in the running game. Newsom staying in there for running game. Looks like Mensah just came in the ball game. Very talented freshman, very explosive.
And Sheriff goes under center, pitches it to Mensah. He is hit. Boy, that was a solid shot from Austin Hall, number 25. I think underneath also another hit, and we have a flag down.
Personal foul. Targeting. Number 25, defense. Contact with the crown of the helmet. That play is under review.
At first blush, I did not catch that, I'll be honest. But we'll take some looks at it and see if this call is going to be upheld. And if so, that'll be all for Austin Hall for tonight.
And Austin Hall is the best and most consistent defensive player on the Memphis Tiger defense.
Remember, they've incorporated not just the head, but the neck area as well. And did he make contact with the helmet, or was that his shoulders?
He's coming off of a block. It looks like to me he had more shoulder than he did neck. If it's me, we've got a 2nd down and 9.
And you pick up the flag. Well, the replay official is Paul Zukas. I mean, I can see why an official is, because that head pops back. That was a violent hit.
Yeah, this guy is a guy who was a walk-on as well. He started all last year. The coaches said they couldn't give him a scholarship until August.
The ruling on the field of targeting is confirmed. The penalty is half the distance from the goal line. Number 25 of Memphis is disqualified.
Well, that's a tough one. I know we're trying to take care of kids, but it looked to me that if it is in a gray area, the officials are more likely to lean toward it being a targeting foul than not. And then the other part of this I don't like, Dave, they make the young man leave the field. They send him inside. He can't even be on the sideline with his teammates, and he should be out there helping coach the other guy. So I really hope that's a rule that the NCAA changes.
I've got a rule that I would, and I don't think it'll ever happen, is trying to do it like basketball, flavor 1, flavor 2, but that I don't think there's much emotion for that among the powers that be in college football. So a big blow from Memphis defensively. Sheriff's on the scramble, will keep it, and he'll get down to the 6-yard line and pick up 6 there. 2nd down and 4 before the freshman TJ Carter, number 2, in there on the stop. So now you don't have Curtis Akins available tonight, an experienced linebacker from Memphis. Now you've lost your leading tackler in Austin Hall. So some challenging depth issues for defensive coordinator Chris Ball for Memphis.
And therefore communication issues because there's a lot of youth. It'll simplify their defense. They'll just throw a lot of things out that maybe this young linebacker hasn't done.
You got Newsom in the slot. Now he goes in motion. Sheriff fakes to him. He'll try to get the 1st down. Not going to be able to get the 1st down. Jonathan Cook led the parade, and they almost tried to make him into a human wishbone that time. So 3rd down and a yard to go.
Connecticut's had real problems in the red zone because they're athletic up front, but they're not very strong and powerful. They still have to spread you out. They've got to do some unconventional things to score.
They do have their conventional short yardage back, number 11, Nate Hopkins, in the game. Sheriffs fakes to him, and Memphis was not fooled. Great reaction by 55 Bryce Huff. They're going to lose a couple of yards, and it's going to be 4th down and 3.
Great patience by Huff. He comes down, he sits, he moves his feet. Instead of taking the dive, he looks at the dive but stays on the quarterback. What a play.
I do not see a kicker yet here, Matt.
No, I think we're going for it. This team has not played well enough on defense not to go for it. They need to score touchdowns. I think we'll see something up to the right.
They need 3 for the 1st down, 5 for the touchdown. Sheriffs running toward the edge, has to throw, does in traffic, and it is incomplete. Memphis will hold. Wyndham breaks it up, trying to get it to the tight end, Alec Bloom.
I totally agree with the call. I think if you're Connecticut, you got to be aggressive. You got to send the message to your team that you're going to score. So they had a little misdirection sprint right. They tried to move the quarterback's launch point again, get him outside. If I'm Sheriffs here, I press the pocket a little bit more and sprint toward the line of scrimmage because he really didn't have anything, but he could have run for that 1st down because he didn't have to get to the goal line for the touchdown. 8
plays, 80 yards, but it ends up being just a flip of field position if you're looking for one positive for UConn here. The ball is at the 5-yard line. Well, the ESPN app is a fan's best friend. Stream every ESPN and ABC college football game live at home or on the go with access to scores, news, highlights all season long. Download the ESPN app and start streaming now. So Ronnie Ferguson will have his worst field position. of the night for this Memphis Tiger attack. And Dorland Dorcius is in, number 28 of the tailback position. He'll get it here, and Dorcius will get to about the 7-yard line, a couple of yards there. 2nd down and 8 coming up. Dorcius has barely played this year. Missed a couple of games, played a little bit in the 3rd game. We have a flag down now at the 14-yard line. He's only carried the ball 4 times coming into tonight. He was an important player for the Tigers last season.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, offense, number 50. After distance to the goal, 2nd down.
That's Leo Lafaele, or Ailey, and a late hit by an offensive lineman after a play. Bit surprising. Didn't see it, but the officials did.
And if Connecticut's going to win this game, they're going to have to get a stop down here because they've got tremendous field position.
Dorcius will check out. Pollard comes into the slot to the left of the quarterback, Ferguson, who has an empty backfield. He'll fire it too high, incomplete. 2nd and long coming up. He overthrew Anthony Miller that time. So it's actually 3rd down and 11.
This is a huge down if you're on defense for Connecticut. Looks like they're going to play a 3-man rush again. Play zone. Try to keep the guy in front of you and keep him in front of the chains and get really good field position after the kick.
Going to go wide, and they are not going to get anywhere near the 1st down marker. Pollard paying a heavy price with a big hit at the 10-yard line by Junior Joseph, a fantastic middle linebacker for this Huskies defense. And so Spencer Smith will come out and he'll try to root it out.
Well, and people would ask, why did Norvell run a speed sweep on 3rd down and 13 backed up? It's to be smart and safe. Riley Ferguson had just thrown a high throw. You don't need a turnover. Punt the ball and play defense.
And so we're actually seeing Nick Jacobs, number 47, the other punter from Memphis, and we have another flag down in the end zone.
Substitution infraction. 12 players in formation, offense. Half the distance to the goal, 4th down.
But Memphis is a little off their pins right now. That's 5 penalties already as we're a little bit more than 3 minutes remaining in this opening quarter, and it's going to make it even more difficult for Nick Jacobs. He is normally their short punter who shows up around midfield. Now he has almost no room to punt with. Gets rid of it pretty quickly. Swan telling all his teammates to get out of the way as the punt checks up and actually backs up. And UConn is going to have outstanding field position at the Memphis 41-yard line as we check in with Jen Latta. All right, we apologize. We had an issue with Jen's mic. We'll get back to her as soon as we can. So they did play the field position game, Mac, and it appears at the moment to be working.
Yes, Connecticut needed to come out, play well to start this game and put pressure on a Memphis team that's frustrated after last week's loss.
They'll pitch it to Dixon, and Dixon doing some nice running in traffic will get very close to the 1st down. And did the ball come out is the issue. Memphis says it did. Wyndham looked like he tried to rip the ball away from the runner. Waiting for the guys in the black and white to confirm that it is a fumble, and Memphis has it.
You've got to carry the ball high and tight. They're just ripping it out of his arms there, and it looks like it is a fumble. Young red-shirted freshman Dixon had the ball loose in his left arm. You have to carry it high and tight. Put 2 arms on it if you need to when you get in traffic. Great play by Memphis defensively, stripping that ball loose.
And now the ruling on the field is that it belongs to UConn. All of a sudden, they have reversed the initial call because the Connecticut offense is still on the field. And now it looks like Vandemark, number 74, is the one who fell on the football. The initial call had Memphis jumping up and down for joy, but all of a sudden it's 1st and 10, UConn. As Sheriffs scrambles, throws, hits. This is going to be a first down and more inside the 15. Tommy Myers, the redshirt senior tight end, a 17-yard pickup, a guy who has seen every coach this program has ever had as the head coach. Now that Randy Edsall is back. Playing quickly, they'll hand to Hopkins. Hopkins up the gut, and he'll get a solid 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
I like the game plan of Rhett Lashley, the offensive coordinator at UConn. A lot of misdirection, a lot of movement of the quarterback, and then he pounds the big back up inside.
Hopkins again to the 6. 3rd down and 2. Tim Hart, middle linebacker, number 35, making the stop.
It's the head coach's call whether you try to have 2 more downs to make this first down and get 6 points, or if you kick the field goal if you come up short. I think once again Connecticut goes for the score.
And went down, got to the 5-yard line, needed 3 yards for a first down, went for it on 4th, did not make it.
A lot of different formations.
Sheriffs will keep. He's short again. I don't think he gained anything. So here we go. John Tate on the stop. It's 4th down. They need barely 2.
Those coaches decided yesterday that they were going to go for touchdowns and not field goals. They're not talking about it right now. They've already missed one. They know Memphis is going to score some points. They need to score a touchdown.
So they bring in 2 tight ends, Bloom and Myers, to help block, perhaps for Hopkins. It is Hopkins. He's rejected. Based on the spot of the official at the bottom of your screens, he didn't make it. The official on the far side is a little bit closer to the first down marker. White was in there on the stop for Memphis. Now, they already thought they got the ball once on a fumble call that was overturned.
They've got misdirection again in their backfield to try to get the Memphis defense to lose their eye discipline, get a little bit soft outside so Hopkins can run up inside for the first down.
The ruling on the field is a first down. They're saying he got to the 4-yard line. And we're going to the headset for this one, and I'm not surprised to see that. Replay buzzing down to referee Tracy Jones. They want to take a closer look at this spot. You had 2 differing opinions, Mac. I watched 2 officials, one come in from the short side, one from the far side, and they did not agree.
It really depends on which one fights enough to say it's his spot. I thought he initially made it, and then when I saw the official coming in from the left side boundary, it looked like it was inches short. Hopkins is a big, strong back. White steps up in the hole. It's a collision.
Maybe the thrust of the football is the difference here. Remind everybody the ruling on the field is a first down and goal from about the 4-yard line. So I'm not sure that's enough evidence to overturn that call.
It's huge that they called
After
it a
review,
first down
the ruling
on the field.
of a first down stands. 1st and goal.
They will very seldomly overturn a call that you don't have better angles than that. They'll trust the official's decision on the field and go for it. Good call by Randy Edsall. They missed on the 4th down before. They came back, being aggressive with his team right now, trying to send a message. We're not coming out here to kick field goals. We're coming to win the game.
I think that's a great point you made. That they knew about this yesterday. They might have known about it 3 days ago what they were going to do in these situations here. Sheriffs now with a freshman announced. Hands to Hopkins, who is short of the goal line, say the officials. This time they both agree. He's going to be maybe just a little bit inside the 1 with Avery and Goodson on the stop.
Hopkins is their big short yardage goal line guy, downhill guy. He's going north and south.
Hopkins again to the goal line. This time he is in. Touchdown, UConn. Huskies playing boldly tonight. Looking for their first win in conference play this season. They take a 13-7 lead.
Just another power play up inside with some misdirection on the outside, looking like a screen. Really good cut by Hopkins. Plants that foot, turns up inside. Lopez wins and he scores.
8 plays, 41 yards in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Key moments on this drive. We have a flag down, so this point after try will not count.
False start. Offense, number 90. 5-yard penalty. Retry.
But at the moment where Memphis first thought they had a fumble, recovered, and it was not the case. UConn ended up getting that ball, and then of course you had the replay upholding a close first down call and allowing UConn then to take a couple more plays to punch in the touchdown to regain the lead, their second lead of the night.
And if you're Mike Norvell in Memphis, you're a little concerned that you're missing some really good opportunities. The punt that slid out of bounds when Hall couldn't keep it. The fumble on the ground that they thought they had, and then the fourth down in inches, and then giving up the touchdown. They've let Connecticut start with a very positive attitude and get some confidence in this game.
And the funny thing is that has been a problem for UConn. First halves, they have been outscored by a lot. First and second quarters combined, but at the moment with 19 seconds remaining in this quarter, they have their second 7-point lead of the night.
When we would go on the road as a head coach, I would say, don't let the other team get excited. You've got to put it out early. You take over. You have the momentum. You never wanted a team that was losing to feel good about themselves. And right now, we've got a Connecticut team that's excited by their offense, keeping their defense off the field, and this defense is going to play lights out. Got to come back and answer if you're Mike Norvell.
To mention at the top of the show, after a tough loss in Orlando the other day of the week, he felt his team rebounded very quickly, even as early as Monday, with a refocus for this game. It's only one conference loss, certainly doesn't ruin you for the season, but a second one would be damaging, especially in what appears to be a really competitive year in the American, with both the Florida schools looking very solid early on here, USF and UCF. You always have to keep an eye out for Navy. They're strong. So the conference appears to be wide open this year. Tony Pollard, standing on the C in UConn, is a game changer. That's if he gets a chance, and he wants this one from about 4 yards deep. Pollard to the 20, Pollard to the 25, 30. Can the kicker get him? He does. Michael Tarbert, the kicker, stops Pollard from breaking what would have been a 100-yard kick return, but it's still a 51-yarder.
Don't kick it to a guy that makes a living returning kicks for touchdowns. Kick it to a big guy. Kick it to a high number. Don't kick it to number 1, who has 4 kickoff returns in his career for touchdowns and 2 this year.
Well, that was pretty bold, though, taking it as deeply as he did. Wasn't a bad kick.
He can be bold. He's got a good resume.
That is true. He may make a living doing this.
But that's the last time they kick it.
So at the 45-yard line, Dorcius is the tailback. We've got 11 seconds remaining in this quarter. Memphis trailing by 7. Ferguson play action fake. He wanted to go deep. He's going to scramble and fire. Out of bounds. 4 seconds remaining in the quarter. Pressure that time from Cole Ormsby. Flushed him out.
Different attitude out of the Connecticut defense than we've seen in any of the games that we watch coming into this game. They're playing with more confidence. They're playing with a bigger pep in their step, and they're stopping Memphis.
Ferguson, 5 out of 10, 76 yards, had 4 interceptions against him last week by the Knights. They'll go long out to Sidorcius, and he'll get a yard, but that UConn defense is swarming, and as Mac mentioned, looks to be playing with a great deal of confidence as Diggs and Fort in there on the stop. 1 quarter down here in Hartford, and as the Huskies on top of Memphis 14-7, doing it with big plays and a confident offensive approach going for it on 4th downs. A spirited start, second quarter coming up here for the UConn Huskies, who dropped their first 2 games in American play. Just have the 1 win over Holy Cross this year, while Memphis claimed UCLA in what has become their annual 11 a.m. trap that they have at the Liberty Bowl. 3 straight years they've beaten a ranked opponent in an 11 a.m. Central Time starting game. This time it was UCLA. They lost their last game to UCF. They're on the short end here, facing 3rd down and long with Henderson the tailback. Ferguson in some trouble off the back foot. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful catch by Miller, and it's a 1st down, 34-yard line.
Walk on to superstar. Connecticut brought the house. They brought them all. Tremendous pressure on Riley Ferguson. He just slings it out there. Anthony Miller, one-hand catch, knows where the sticks is. He turns it up for the 1st.
And they quickly go back out to Miller on the far side. He's going to get inside the 30-yard line, stayed in bounds. They're going to mark him at the 27-yard line before Jamar Summers pushed him out.
You get in trouble, you go fast, and you get the ball to your best players. They've given it to Miller quickly.
He's got Pollard and Henderson in there now next to him, this Ferguson. And he'll run pass option out of the flat. And that's going to be Phil Mayhew. And Mayhew will get inside the 15 to the 13. So he has a catch in 33 straight. Miller has now caught passes in 30 straight as Mayhew picks up 15.
Good job by Mike Norvell calling plays very quickly.
And we have whistles and a timeout called by Connecticut.
UConn, their first charge timeout.
Much like in basketball, a coach wants to stop a run. Sometimes you'll see this in football. Randy Edsall wants to stop the run by Memphis with 14:04 to go in this half. I mentioned Anthony Miller has 30 games with a catch, 33 for Phil Mayhew. He just elongated that on the last play. They got some work to do, though, to catch Duke Calhoun. 49. And since Miller and Mayhew are seniors, they're not going to catch him. 1st and 10. Memphis on the move after the UConn timeout. Huskies have 2 remaining in this half. And we have flags. This play nullified by a penalty.
False start. Offense, number 50. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
6 penalties on the Tigers in this game. It'll be 1st down and 15.
Coaches were concerned about inconsistent drives, stopping themselves. Had 4 great plays, now they're 1st and 15.
Fake to Henderson, going for the end zone catch made. And it's a touchdown. Anthony Miller, the officials making sure he completed the catch. Looked like good coverage by Summers, but Miller just might be too good.
Miller is a superstar. And Riley Ferguson started 5 for 10, and now he's 5 for 5 since that time. He sticks the inside move. He's got the fade to the outside. He keeps room toward the boundary, turns all the way around for the back shoulder throw for an easy score.
He's got 6 catches now, 68 yards, and that touchdown. And the replay official has confirmed that as a touchdown, so the PAT is forthcoming.
Those 2 guys are best friends. If I was a wide receiver, I'd have the quarterback as my best friend.
And again, if you missed it at the top of the show, Anthony Miller did not have. In fact, let's put our fists together and count the number of offers Anthony Miller got before he got to Memphis. 0.
0.
Unbelievable.
But mommy is getting a chance.
Redshirt senior Tommy Myers has UConn in his blood, guys. His mother, Peggy Walsh, was the leading scorer and rebounder on the first of Gino Ariema's women's basketball teams right here at UConn. Tommy told us that Gino made her a much better player. He was young and ambitious, ready to take a team to the next level. In fact, Tommy tells us the story of his dad, Norm, who was also a football player here at UConn, sitting in the gym with Gino, staring out at the empty stadium, saying, "One day, I'm going to fill this stadium." I guess you could say Gino made good on that promise, huh, guys?
Jen, I just want to know if Gino still has that tie. It's a nice tie. He is unrecognizable in that photograph. You see, that's how long ago that was. It's unbelievable. You can hardly recognize as big a celebrity in this area as you'll find.
He's been as good a coach in any sport as there's been in the United States. I mean, he's done things no one else has done in his sport, which is phenomenal.
He has so many trophies now. We ate at his restaurant yesterday. He's got a women's basketball championship trophy in the lobby of his restaurant because I don't think he has room in his office anymore.
I wouldn't think so. Just get a bigger office, which he can do. Oh, can't kick it out of bounds. Come on now. You got momentum. That's a killer. You cannot kick the ball out of bounds.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
They are the most successful women's basketball program in the nation. 11 national titles. We couldn't even fit them all in the picture. And a record 4 titles in a row from 13 to 16. They have reached the Final Four in 10 straight seasons, 18 overall. And they had that win streak that went to 111 consecutive games. UConn football hoping for some of that mojo as Nate Hopkins joins Sheriffs in the backfield. Sheriffs fakes to him, steps in trouble. He's got some room to run though. And Sheriffs will head to the marker. He'll get out of bounds safely with the first down at the 48-yard line.
We're going to see if Connecticut has got enough confidence to respond after Memphis had such an easy drive down for a touchdown. They kind of took all the momentum away. Now, can Connecticut respond and go score?
They got a break with a bad kickoff, and now the quarterback found a hole in the defense. He'll dump it off here to Tyler Davis, who had a big catch earlier. This time he'll pick the yard. And let's get back to the field and talk with Jen.
Hey there, guys. I'm here with Kia Nurse, senior guard for that famed women's basketball program. What is it like to be a part of such a legacy?
I mean, UConn itself and the legacy that Coach Ariamba and the coaching staff has built it's so much fun to be a part of and play for people who just genuinely care about you as a person and want you to be a better basketball player.
You told me that your boyfriend is on the team. It's almost mandatory that you come, but you obviously have bragging rights in this relationship.
Sometimes I'd like to say that basketball has its own little side, but UConn is a great family. The student-athlete family, the coaches, the alumni that we have. It's a great place to be. It's a great place to get involved in the community, and the games are always fun to come to.
And of course, Kia, very happy with the way this game is going so far, guys.
3rd down and 8. Thank you, Jen and Kia, very much. And yes, UConn has been going toe-to-toe with this Memphis team. It comes in 3-1.
Great answer by Kia on bragging rights.
Smart woman.
Yes, she is.
Pressure from the backside. Sheriffs gets rid of it, and it's going to be incomplete. Trying to get it to Donaldson. Lindley was in coverage, and it'll be 4th down.
In coaching, we have a thing called hidden yards. And when you kick the ball out of bounds and give Memphis the ball at the 35-yard line, it gives them an opportunity to think about pressure on the quarterback, because Connecticut's sitting here, and they actually thought about going for this 4th down because of field position. Now they'll back Memphis up with a really good kick here. So the kickoff out of bounds really hurts hidden yards in this football game for Memphis.
Might have been able to see on your screens that Brett Lashley, the offensive coordinator, is still having a rather one-sided conversation with Sheriff. So there might have been a miscommunication there. Meantime, the punt is hooked out of bounds, and instead of getting inside the 20, it's inside the 25 at the 24-yard line by Brett Graham. So Memphis dodged one there after a bad kickoff and maybe a miscommunication among the Huskies offensive players. I think you're going to pretty much have to watch both of those games. Can Miami finally beat Florida State, a supposedly down FSU team, and can anybody do anything against Alabama, are your plot lines for tomorrow. Now 1st and 10, Ferguson, long throw, catch made by Mayhew, and that'll be a 1st down at around the 37-yard line. That is a really good arm by Ferguson.
Very impressive throw going to his left as well.
Now he'll go to his right. And this is Miller. And Miller has it pop loose. And Memphis recovers along the sideline right in front of UConn. Kadarian Jones saving it. Randy Edsall just a few yards away. I half expected him to fall on the football to try to save it as Summers knocked it loose.
Yeah, you've got to keep the ball high and tight. You cannot allow people to strip the ball. Both these teams are carrying the ball loosely tonight at times.
Fake to Dorsey. Now Miller to the left of Ferguson. Miller will play off the block beautifully. Get to the middle of the field. He made about 4 UConn defenders miss before Herring Wilson brought him down. And Kadarian Jones with a great block downfield.
I said in the open, he's quick as a puff of smoke, and they can't tackle him in space. Great play by Miller.
Couple of fakes. And they left Miller alone. And he'll step out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Let me throw a pro name at you. I mentioned this to me. Just looking at the body type, the intensity, and the talent, do I see another potential Steve Smith Sr. type player? A guy with strong hands?
Absolutely. And that play by Ferguson, he had so much patience. He looked at Miller. He looked downfield. He came back and took it out to Miller. And you've got a young secondary that can't cover that type run-pass option play when it's executed like that.
Miller takes a little break. Now we'll try the same thing with Pollard. That play a little off the mark that time. The throw just a little bit off. Terry was in coverage. That'll be 2nd down and 10 coming up.
You can see that Memphis is spreading it out. They're running run-pass option. They're running quick screens. They're trying to get a lesser talented secondary and inexperienced secondary from Connecticut to have to tackle those good players in space.
Garcias remains the tailback here for the Tigers. He'll get it, and he gets a good burst through the line to pick up 7 of the 19 before Diggs brings him down, number 13. So here comes 3rd down and 3. Now you got to start thinking, listen, Connecticut can't be the only team to go for it on 4th downs if it's close. But if Memphis doesn't make it here, we'll see what the philosophy is.
I think we see 4 downs.
Ferguson fires. Not going to have to worry about it. Catch is made the 11-yard line by DeMonte Coxie. And here is a player that the Memphis coaching staff is really happy with, number 10 in white.
He's a guy that actually signed with LSU. Academically, he couldn't get in school, had a red shirt at Memphis. They think this guy has got a super future ahead of him. 6'3", long, tall guy.
Dorcius off the left side of the line. You see the strength of Dorcius as he'll pick up 5 there to the 6-yard line. Diggs and Herring Wilson in there on the stop.
I like the play selection by Mike Norvell in this drive. Spread them out, spread them out, spread them out. Pound them with Dorcius, the big back.
Again, Dorcius spinning and fighting, but this time he runs right into a red, white, and blue wall. Number 11, Junior Joseph, Pennsylvania native, part of the leadership council for this UConn team, makes the stop. Here's 3rd down and a couple. 10th play of the drive coming up. That is something Memphis coaches said they wanted to see some sustained drives tonight. They're getting one right now.
Memphis.
And Memphis will take a timeout. They have 2 remaining, 9:26 left in this half. Mike Norvell and his offensive coordinator, Daryl Dickey, a veteran. You've known Daryl and his father, his whole family practically for a long time.
Yes, Jimmy Dickey was one of the great defensive coordinators in our country, and then he became the head coach at Kansas State. Daryl was his young quarterback, redshirted the whole team, and took them to one of their first bowls in many years.
Hey, we got a big event coming up Saturday on game day. Would you believe it's time for number 300 for Coach?
Coach Corso is unbelievable. He's just
Well, grab you if you picked the wrong.
College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, live from Fort Worth. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. on ESPN.
Ferguson on 3rd down. Looking end zone, throwing in the other way. Across his body, it's caught. It will be short of the goal line, but Joey Magnifico gets a 1st down at the 1. Herring Wilson kept Magnifico out of the end zone, and he comes up, Magnifico just a little bit limping around, but he's going to stay in.
That was a really foolish throw that worked.
Yes, it was a long throw off the wrong foot, but it worked indeed. That doesn't work, and a flag comes in at the 5-yard line. Connecticut's defense stout that time. Full of Fanukazi, number 93, and Junior Joseph with the stop. Let's see what this flag is all about. It's thrown right in the middle of everybody.
Number 72 and number 54. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Wow, a major mistake. A chop block, backing them up 15.
That's a killer. These are the mistakes that have hurt Memphis. Hurt them last week, cost them already 7 penalties, but you cannot make that mistake down around the goal line. It's easy to have happen. You've got one guy coming high, one guy coming low between the left tackle and the center, and it becomes a chop block when one thinks he's reaching and one feels like he's just blocking down.
Henderson is the new tailback now, number 8, back into the game for Memphis, replacing Dorsey. This is Ferguson all the way back to his own 30, hits Henderson to the 15-10, and he is dumped there at around the 8-yard line by Vontae Diggs. He and Junior Joseph, number 13 and number 11, respectively, all over the field for the Huskies. It is a gain of 8, though. Second and goal.
Riley Ferguson's one of those guys like on the sprint right throwback. No, no, no. Great play.
He does that a lot, doesn't he?
He does, but he had 3 interceptions last week. Don't do too much in this ball game. Be smart.
The fake. That's the same play with Miller. Did he make the catch again? Yes. That looks almost like the exact same catch that Miller made for the touchdown earlier. He picks up his second touchdown tonight.
Got the fake up inside, they're running the ball. It's the perfect throw on the back shoulder to the outside, away from the boundary, and Miller kept space with grass, got his knee down. If he kept control of the ball, it's a touchdown.
That's what the official who's on top of the plate hesitates. You see the field judge there. He wants to make absolutely sure the catch is complete. It is ruled a touchdown. We're lining up for the PAT. Randy Edsall is on the field, and he's not trying to call for a timeout. He's just unhappy with the official. And Memphis makes it 12 plays, 76 yards, and 4:15 for the go-ahead score. 21-14 with 8 minutes to go. Anthony Miller, 10 catches, 114 yards, and his second touchdown of the night. In our conversations on Thursday with the Memphis coaching staff, one of the things they wanted to avoid was short drives. Well, they've pretty much done that right here. Their 3 touchdown drives, a combination 15 plus 27 plays for their touchdown drives, and their 3 and outs. Obviously, UConn's defense stood there. They're 6 of 8 on third down, Memphis. And we always hear it almost as a cliche that you have to succeed on third down to succeed in the game, but that's happened so far tonight for Memphis on offense, while UConn has struggled against a Memphis defense that had been generous on third downs coming into the game, 52%. Here's Buss, and he'll take a knee. You don't say this all the time, but at the moment, Mac, at least in my opinion, a wide receiver is the dominant player in this game.
Yeah, Anthony Miller is a superstar. Walk-on, non-recruited high school player to superstar. He catches it with one hand. He catches the back shoulder throw. He can run in space. He's so quick with the move that they can't cover him on the slant and on the fade. And you can tell he and Riley Ferguson have spent a lot of time together throwing that back shoulder throw.
11.4 yards per reception, a couple of scores tonight. So we'll see what Brian Sheriffs can do now as UConn tries to come from behind, and they break one with Newsom up the gut. Now the ball may have popped out. 40-yard line, fight for the football. The last time Memphis thought they had one of these, they ran off the field to celebrate and find out it wasn't their ball. Wyndham forcing the fumble again. And Connecticut keeps it. That's the second time Wyndham has forced a fumble in this game. It's like Aaron McLean recovered it.
Talked about guys not having the ball high and tight meaning one or two arms on it up hard against your chest. And defensive players in this game are ripping it out. It's twice that Memphis has ripped it out but has not been able to get on the ball.
It's a 16-yard gain. Sheriff stepping up. He'll throw. Good eyes downfield. Flag is down at the 33-yard line. So is Keon Dixon. The flag was thrown at the 47-yard line in Memphis territory. Referee Tracy Jones.
Holding. Defense. Number 24. Penalties decline. Result of the play, first down.
And it's a 29-yard pickup. Great communication at that time between Sheriffs and the redshirt freshman Dixon. Kevin Benson in the game now, number 34 for the Huskies in the tailback spot. Everybody scatters. Sheriffs got wide open down the middle. Bloom into the end zone, and UConn is a point away from tying the game.
Great play call by Rhett Lashley. Lines them up tight, understands Memphis has got a lot of youth and inexperience and have trouble communicating, split out to 5 quick wides, and has his tight end wide open, uncovered for a touchdown. Let's give that touchdown to Rhett Lashley, the offensive coordinator in Connecticut.
Just about 5 minutes ago, he was one of the happiest people in the state of Connecticut. Upset with the way his offense had communicated. He's going to be a little bit happier this time as Alec Bloom's first touchdown catch of the season, the senior from Ligonier, Pennsylvania. And the PAT by Tarbert. We are knotted up at 21. An offensive showdown in the first half in the American Conference on ESPN. (21-21). Alec Bloom with the touchdown. And Mac, I think it's worth pointing out that Memphis is a little bit shorthanded. Losing Austin Hall to an ejection for targeting in the first quarter. That might cause some confusion for the Tigers on defense. They are thin now. That's 2 linebackers that they usually have who are not available, with Aikens out injured. They will kick to Pollard, but they'll kick it so deep that even he won't consider running it out.
And they were shorthanded coming into the game, and then they lose Hall. So they were in a position where they were worried about communications issues long before Hall came out of the game.
So the ball at the 25-yard line. Riley Ferguson will bring him out. We thought this would be a high-scoring game with UConn's vastly improved offense. And Memphis, we already knew they had a great offense. Riley Ferguson has caught fire. Pick up another completion here. That is Williams. Connecticut was waiting for him that time. It's a 2-yard gain, second down and 8. Junior Joseph on the stop. Flags down here.
Second down.
So 8 penalties, 66 yards against the Tigers. They have had a problem with that this season.
Connecticut sent in a message to Memphis that we're not going away. We're going to play hard throughout the night.
25, 28, 29-yard line for the powerful running Dorland Dorcius. 5'10", 215. Powerful lower body. on this redshirt senior out of New Orleans. 3rd down and long coming up. They need 7. Ferguson in some trouble, flushed. Now he's got some room, and a wide open receiver to 35-yard line is Dorcius. He'll have a first down and so much more into Connecticut territory at around the 45-yard line. And that spin move away by Ferguson to his left gave him all the room he needed to see Dorcius.
That's a mistake on defense. You've got to keep him in the pocket. Great play by Ferguson.
Miller with a catch, and he'll get a short gain there of 3, 2nd down and 7 coming up. So Miller now with 11 catches for Memphis. Ferguson has, Mac, that playground-esque quality about him that he can make something happen out of virtually nothing. He's 15 for his last 16.
It's hard to compare him to a Hall of Famer at this point in his career, but he looks somewhat like Brett Favre, some running around there, slinging the ball all over the place, but he gets it to the right people for first downs.
Play action fake to Henderson on the run. This throw coming back to receiver, and it's incomplete. Oh, it was a little bit underthrown. That would have been very, very difficult catch for Mayhew. So sets up 3rd down and 7 again. 3rd and long. UConn's defense did not hold the last time.
Yeah, Riley Ferguson's a guy that's very accurate. You could see he was mad at himself for not putting that ball on the money. Sprinting to his right. Should have been an easy throw for him.
7 and 9, 3rd down conversion. Both teams talk so much to us about 3rd downs and their problems. Both sides of the football. Ferguson had a lot of time. The ball is dropped by Pollard. That would have been a first down at the 33-yard line. That's a surprise. So now 4th down and 7. So will Memphis bring out their short punter? And that's exactly the plan anyway with Nick Jacobs.
Huge mistake by Pollard. Pressure on Ferguson. He gets the ball out of his hands quickly. It's a perfect throw on the option route for the first down. Pollard's got to make that catch.
So Jacobs, who has put 5 inside the 20, this is his more traditional role here. See, he takes a little something off of it. That worked out really well for Memphis. Great job there by Jacobs and by the coverage team. And UConn will start at the 3-yard line. Mayhew in there to down it for Memphis. We'll take a moment and give you our college football look ahead, brought to you by Xfinity X1. And Boise State, BYU following us. See Cedric Wilson having a great start for the Boise State Broncos. And a big day for you game day fans and for Coach 300th headgear pick. Later on, we're going to break down his picks involving your teams, Mac. And I'm looking forward to that. And then what do you think of this matchup here, Mac? Michigan State versus 7th-ranked Michigan.
It's going to be fun. They don't like each other at all.
And that's going to be an interception by T.J. Carter. The freshman with his 3rd pick of the year, one-on-one in coverage against Tyreek Beals. And Carter comes down with a football. First turnover for the night for either team.
Carter played the ball perfectly. He's on the hip. He turns back inside. He's forcing the receiver to the boundary. Jumps up and catches the ball high. This young freshman is going to be a superstar. He has length. He has quickness. He has speed. And he played that ball perfectly for a youngster.
A lot of schools were interested in him. Kind of a reverse Anthony Miller story. Miller didn't have offers. T.J. Carter had offers.
Yeah, it sounded like he just walked in and took over, too. Very few freshmen walk in and start, and he did that.
The last time Memphis started in Connecticut territory, they scored a touchdown. Ferguson takes a deep drop. They screen it. This is Henderson off the screen, makes one miss, and Joseph smacks him to the turf after an 8-yard pickup.
When Memphis can spread the Connecticut defense out, they have trouble tackling the Memphis speed in space.
Under 4.5 minutes remaining in this half. Ferguson has just got a deal in a hot hand, and it's dropped again. That's the 2nd drop in the last 3 passes. Mayhew missing on that one. That would have been an easy first down. Now it's 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, come on, senior. Catch that football. Perfect throw on the outside. Turn up, make some yards. Would have got the first down.
Ferguson, who can do very well from his left. Miller tried the one-handed catch that time, but good coverage by Jamar Summers. And it's now 4th down and a couple here, Mac. What do you think?
Yeah, I go for this. On the last play, Ferguson, they moved the pocket to his left. It's a hard throw. It would have been a hard catch because it was falling away from Miller. But here you go for it. You're in a position where you've got to make 2 yards for a first down. It's a long field goal. When a long field goal, there's a possibility it can be blocked. Go ahead, move your quarterback again, get the ball to one of your wideouts in space.
Get it off with 3 seconds to go, and UConn will hold. Henderson was stuffed. No chance. Bryce McAllister up from his defensive back position to make a big hit. And we have a UConn player still unable to get up at the 35-yard line.
This is a huge play by the UConn defense. McAllister steps up, makes the play in the hole along with Joseph, and when you have a 4th down stop, it's like a turnover. So that really takes away the turnover and the interception by Carter in the Memphis defense.
That is Luke Carazola, a senior from Langhorne, Pennsylvania, being looked over by the training staff at the 35-yard line. 4:13 to go. Carazola, a starter at the defensive tackle position, and happy to see he's able to get off under his own power, and hopefully he will be able to return to the game.
As coaches, we always talk about being aggressive and going for that 4th down. Well, you need to make them because they're not as much fun when you don't make them. That's a message again from Connecticut's defense. We're not what you've seen on video. We're here to play tonight.
So we're not who you thought we were, to twist around the Dennis Green line.
Absolutely.
Memphis's defense stout on that play. No gain for Kevin Mensah. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, 4 minutes left to go in the half. You either need to get points or punt Memphis down so far that you need to go in 21-21 for your confidence if you're UConn.
Mensah will stay in. Sheriffs on the run, fires, catch made, 35-yard line, 36. That's Beals. That's going to be a 4-yard gain, maybe 5. So here comes a big 3rd down. They're going to call it 3rd and 6.
Yeah, you don't want to give the ball back to Memphis with 3.5 minutes left in the half. Connecticut's 0-4 on 3rd down. This is the biggest one for them of the night.
Quick throw, and it's low and away from the receiver. It'll be 4th down. McLean, that would have been a very difficult catch for him to make. He was well covered that time, too, by Christian Slaughter. So UConn goes out quickly.
Yeah, it's a bad throw by the quarterback.
Well, you could see Rhett Lashley say, you can read his lips, got to make the throw.
Got to make the throw. He had it open. He had inside position. McLean's a big body type. That would have been for the 1st down.
Pop Williams makes a big fair catch signal and lands on his backside at the 25-yard line. That's actually a heck of a catch. Yeah, let's check in the studio. Adnan Burke's in charge tonight. Adnan, what's up? Oh, no. And then I don't think I could do a good Denny Green impersonation. I could smack a podium pretty well, but that's be about it. I don't think I'd be doing a great man justice for trying to impersonate Denny Green. But who could ever forget? We are who they thought they were. We let them off the hook. On the jet, this is Henderson to the 33-yard line. That's a gain of 8. So both teams with 2 timeouts.
Yeah, Memphis got eternity the way they move their offense to score. Plenty of time. Don't even have to hurry.
Less than 2:45 remaining in the half. Memphis stays on the ground. Henderson, he'll get a 1st down to the 38-yard line. That'll briefly stop the clock. Gain of 5 there for the sophomore from Batesville, Mississippi.
Would be huge going into halftime getting any points here, even if you kick a field goal. This is an important drive just for momentum and sending the message to Connecticut.
Billy Crocker is the defensive coordinator for UConn. He is in the press box. Anderson stays into the tail. Wide open. That is Magnifico. He is cut down, but not until he gets to the 40-yard line. There was no one near him until Bryce McAllister showed up to cut him down after a 22-yard pickup.
It was a zone blitz, really for a run stop on first down. They got some pressure, but Riley Ferguson stood tall, hit the tight end down the middle very easily for a first down.
A lot of patience here, the Tigers, under 2 minutes now and a half. Ferguson has all sorts of room down the middle of the field, looking for Miller. Miller's got it, his third touchdown of the night. This one from 40 yards out.
They've been running on first down the last few times. Fakes the power off tackle, sprints right, got a post route by his #1 player, Anthony Miller. He beats a corner who has struggled. Big play for a touchdown, beating Herring Wilson.
There's a redshirt freshman, Ferguson. That's his 4th touchdown pass of the night.
And that's the matchup you want. Put your best one against a young one that's struggling for Connecticut.
He's already thrown it 34 times, Mac. Completed 24 of those for 305 yards. 12 of those 24 to Miller, who has 12 for 157 and 3 touchdowns.
They can score so easily with their speed.
Brian Sheriff has not had an awful night by any means. He did have the 1 interception, but he has run this Connecticut offense pretty well, except for the last 3 and out they had. But right now, Ferguson he's dialed in with Miller. And I think you brought up a great point. They found something they like, and they're not going to change.
Football is a game about matchups. If I can get my fast one on your slower one in one-on-one situations, whether it's a running back in space or a receiver, that gives me a chance to win. That's the huge advantage that Memphis has tonight over UConn.
And Riley Ferguson's just a story that is remarkable. He had Tennessee, didn't work out there. And actually spent a year not in football before he realized. And he had a coach, a high school coach, say, "Hey, don't do this. Get back in." Goes to Kansas, Coffeyville, is the junior college player of the year, and winds it. Really, Mike Norvell really gave him the hard sell to get into Memphis. He recognized right away this was the guy I needed to have, and it was successful. And it has been successful. Here's a short kick, taken to the 21-yard line. And fair caught. Jay Rose making the grab there for UConn. Week 5, NFL Sunday with ESPN, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. The Sunday NFL Countdown crew of Rex Ryan, Charles Woodson, Matt Hasselbeck, Randy Moss, Morton Shefty, and of course, Samantha Ponder. We'll have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, and preview each game right up to kickoff. Streaming live also, of course, on the ESPN app if you're out for a little Sunday brunch. So now UConn has 2 timeouts and $1:47 to go. We'll see how aggressive they are. They go to Mensah on the ground. And the ball comes squirting out about 10 yards at the 34-yard line. It's recovered by Memphis. Fumble forced by Jannard Avery, and Memphis comes away with it. Recovered by number 24, Tito Wyndham.
Last 3 drives, 5 plays, very few yards, interception, punt, and fumble. Looks like they've got a crease. They've got to get down to try to throw the ball in the end zone. Once again, not carrying the ball well. Got in his left hand. You've got to tuck the ball away, guys. That Memphis defense has knocked 3 balls away from the Connecticut ball carriers. First one they've gotten.
Memphis is a little light in takeaway. Well, they had only 9 turnovers. They only 9, but they were even in turnovers after the UCF game. Last year they were very good at forcing turnovers. They forced a couple here tonight. And Dorcius comes into the tailback. Now it's Memphis's turn with 1:41 left and 2 timeouts. They run jet sweep. 25 inside there. Pollard all the way down to the 20-yard line before he is brought down. 14-yard gain.
if you're a defensive coordinator like at Memphis and see some ball carriers not carrying the ball properly, you really sell your guys on being able to strip the ball and knock it loose during the game.
Riley Ferguson has found 9 different receivers in this half. He goes across the middle of the field and through behind the intended receiver, Sean Dykes, number 5. Had a touchdown earlier today. Junior Joseph on the coverage.
And Dykes is a mismatch inside, 6'2", 210. He's like a wide receiver, but you work him against safeties and linebackers, and he's really athletic and hard for them to cover. Connecticut's got to get a stop here, Dave. They can't afford to give another 7 points up. They've got to make them at least kick it a field goal.
They got to cover number 3. They got a slot in the top of the screen there. Can't go. They go the other way to Mayhew. He gets to the 14. 4 yards to go coming up here. 3rd down.
And you don't want to go too quickly here if you're Memphis, because you'd like to kill the clock and score. And you still have 2 timeouts. So don't leave time on the board for UConn to get it back.
Short drop for Ferguson. Steps, guns, end zone, caught, touchdown. That's Tony Pollard with his 2nd touchdown catch of the season. And Memphis has opened up their largest lead of the night.
Again, mismatch in the middle of the field. Riley Ferguson is so impressive. He looks to his left. He comes back right. You've got Pollard on a linebacker. He's on Diggs. That's a mismatch. Unfair. Really good job of the Memphis coaches getting those mismatches in the secondary.
4 plays, 34 yards, 44 seconds. The fumble recovery by Tito Wyndham, the key play there, allowing Memphis to reset field position and open up a 14-point lead with 57 seconds remaining. Ferguson, 5 touchdown passes in this half, 325 yards. And looks like he could do it for 10 touchdown passes if he had the opportunity. Big game against UCLA in that victory when he had 6 touchdown passes and just a hair under 400 yards. He now has 10 300-yard games in his career at Memphis.
We'll see a sky kick here, a short kick. You're not going to kick it to a deep guy, a fast guy. Give him a chance to return it for a touchdown when you only have 57 seconds left in the half.
Punter Spencer Smith handling the kickoff duties here.
Might squib it, might sky kick it.
Well, they sky kicked him last time and held him at the 21-yard line. This is a very short kick, though. And UConn having a hard time hanging on to it. Rose had it for a moment. Number 91, who had the sky kick before. And UConn will get the football at the 40-yard line. Eddie Hahn, looks like number 5 is guy number 6, ends up on the ball.
And we're seeing the problem that the UConn coaches have with this inexperienced team. They have no confidence. So when things start going badly, it just seems to snowball. They fumbled 2 interceptions, a fumble and interception, and now a drop kickoff return. The last 4 times they've touched the ball, so they've lost their confidence completely.
Two players colliding. Sheriffs, and that pass is deflected. 2nd down and 10. Khalil Johnson getting some playing time, number 96, who's a redshirt sophomore from the Metroplex, Dallas.
And UConn wants to be aggressive, try to get some points on the board, but they can't afford to turn the ball over.
Memphis still has 2 timeouts. This play doesn't go well for UConn. Phil Byrne. Underneath, it's going to go well for UConn. It's going to be 1st down. Mason Donaldson catches a good pass from Brian Sheriffs to move the chains. Avery on the stop.
That answered the timeout question. Now you're not going to use it for sure.
Nope, but UConn might. They've got 2 also. Sheriffs Under pressure throws. Is he in bounds? No. Catch made out of bounds by Skeen. 2nd and 10 coming up. Clock stop. 35 seconds to go.
Yeah, that's on Skanes. He's got to know where his feet are. Keep the feet in bounds. Do not step out of bounds with the quarterback coming towards you.
Pressure coming, blocked away. They go underneath. This is going to be a short. No, it's not going to be a short gain. Newsome looked like he was only going to be 4 yards. The tackle was missed by Avery. That doesn't happen often. And Newsome will get the football to the 34-yard line for a 14-yard pickup on a first down.
And stop the clock so you still have your 2 timeouts in your pocket.
Protection here. Sheriff's going to take off. Didn't like what he saw down the field. He's going to get a short gain. Might see one of those timeouts right now. We will. Clock stop. 21 seconds for Randy Edsall's squad. I want to remind you about tomorrow. A couple of big games for you on ESPN. At 3:30 Eastern, number 13 Miami takes on the rival Florida State Seminoles in Tallahassee. Then over at College Station for number 1 Alabama, squaring off against 4-1 Texas A&M. And as always, you can take those games anywhere you are, streaming live on the ESPN app. And we saw Mark Walton back a week ago, dealing with a little bit of a bum ankle, but man, that guy is a player and a future NFL prospect, or current NFL prospect.
Yeah, he's fast. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. They have 2 backs that are really good players. But this guy is one that, for Miami to win tomorrow, in my estimation, he has to have a big day.
There was some concern about Hurricane Nate getting in the way of that game, but it's going to be a 3:30 start Saturday, 3:30 Eastern. And with all those in the path of Hurricane Nate, we wish you nothing but the safest. It's going to be difficult. It always is during a hurricane. But the Florida State-Miami game was an Irma postponement from September.
So many great games to watch again tomorrow. Can't take a sack.
Yeah,
Can't
he
take
did
a sack.
Yep, at the 40-yard line. Avery, number 6. And UConn will take their last time out.
Yeah, Avery is their designated pass rusher. They will move him up around that line of scrimmage when they need a pass rush. This guy's athletic. He can use his hands so well and his quickness that he gets back and punishes the quarterback. And if you're Sheriffs, you have to get the ball out of your hands and get it out of bounds, because you need to keep the timeout in your pocket so you'll be able to stop the clock after this play to try to get your field goal.
So 3rd down and 15.
That limits what you can do. It's hard to throw the ball over the middle, because if you do, or scramble and throw it over the middle, then you've got to be able to spike it and get your field goal off. So you limited your choices by having the sack and the quarterback run.
3rd down has been terrible for UConn tonight. They've had 5 of them. They have not hit on any of them. They need to get probably another 9 yards to think about a field goal. Sheriffs, they're going to get a lot more than that. Down to the 20, down to the 19. Donaldson gets them in field goal range. The clock is running in a moment. 10 seconds, and
have plenty of time to spike it.
Yep.
He's in good shape. Be patient. Get the spike.
7 seconds. 007 on the clock.
Prior to the snap. Timeout, Memphis. Yeah, second charge timeout.
Well, that was an interesting decision to call timeout. Now that should reset the clock to 10. We'll confirm that. I don't know if they're going to. They say prior to the snap. So we'll see if the clock gets reset at all. Randy Edsall may be discussing that with one of the officials right now. If we get any additional time on the clock. So Memphis saw something they did not like and stopped the clock. Still says 7 seconds.
The only reason you call your timeout there if you feel like one of your guys is winded They might take a fake the spike and throw a fade in the end zone with 7 seconds left and still have enough time for the field goal. But if you're UConn, you got to have something positive happen. Kick the field goal and go to half.
Michael Tarbett, 3 out of 5 on the year. This from 37. He's long in the year 42. He has range in the low 50s. Sophomore from Ontario. And that is a little bit of a boost for UConn. After a tough stretch near the end of the second quarter with 4 seconds remaining, they have cut the margin to 11.
As minor as it seems, that's a huge positive for UConn to move it down, get something on the board after they'd had 2 or 3 really difficult series. That'll take a lot of momentum into halftime.
Of course. All right, let's just say this again. Do not kick it to Tony Pollard. I'll say it on your behalf, so you don't feel like you've said it too much tonight already.
We're going to squib it. If we didn't talk about it, special teams coach, during the week, I'm telling you now, don't let a fast guy touch the ball with 4 seconds left.
And then Tony Pollard, number 1 for Memphis, as he slowly jogs out onto the field. Talking about a guy who averages 40 yards a return, has already had about a 50-yard return tonight, and has scored twice this year, 4 times in his career.
Yeah, if he touches it, it would be because Mike Norvell got it in his hands. It wouldn't be because I gave it to him.
Personally,
yes. Some guys just have a knack for kick returns. The young man has that. Kick it on the ground.
Yep, they got it. That's exactly what you were looking for. And the half is not over. Only burned up 1 second, 3 seconds to go, as Jonathan Wilson fell on that for the Tigers.
Now Memphis will take a knee, and we got halftime.
Memphis outscoring UConn in this quarter 28-10. That has been a troublesome quarter for Connecticut this season. They've been badly outscored coming into tonight. They're going to be minus 18 on this quarter. And Memphis does indeed trot out the safety formation on the offensive end. They will get the football, the Tigers, to start the half.
We like where we are. We like the second quarter, and we get the ball to start the second half. Take the knee, go regroup. Start over.
So our halftime score sees Memphis on top 35-24. It's halftime report time with Adnan Burke, Jesse Palmer, and Joey Galloway. Third quarter about to begin here at Pratt & Whitney Stadium in Hartford, Rensselaer Field. You're watching the American Conference on ESPN with Memphis looking for their first win in conference, leading Connecticut 35-24. The Huskies coming back to the field. They're going to be on defense the first time Memphis. Their offense began to hum in the second quarter, putting up 28 points. Riley Ferguson, 5 touchdown passes, Mac. He and Anthony Miller look like they've been playing football since they were 2 years old together.
Yeah, and Memphis has got more consistency tonight. They haven't had a turnover. They're moving the ball. They're making their third downs. On the other side of the ball, Connecticut's moved the ball really well, but they're 1 of 6 on third down, which has been a nightmare for them, and they've lost 2 turnovers. They've got to go back and be more consistent in this second half.
This time they kick it over Tony Pollard's head, and it'll be touchback at the 25 as we rejoin Jen Latta.
Well, hey there, guys. I just talked to Randy Edsall out of the locker room. He said the message right now is no different than it was before the game. We've got to take care of the football. He said they have to stop shooting themselves in the foot, but he likes what's up on the scoreboard, says we are still in this one.
Well, they can get a stop here, Jen. You're absolutely right. And that field goal at the end gave them a little break. They were down 14, and a late field goal made it 35-24. Take a look at a red-hot quarterback. We'll see how Riley Ferguson comes out for this third quarter. He'll come out and pitch it. And a spectacular catch by Mayhew at the 33-yard line, going in another direction to come up with an 8-yard gain. Memphis playing at pace. Henderson, the tailback. Patrick Taylor not available tonight for the Tigers due to injury. And that'll be a first down for Henderson to the 37-yard line. Brought down there by number 29. Anthony Watkins. And we have a Connecticut player down in front of the Memphis bench at the 45-yard line. Memphis trainers very quickly out to help, and now here come from the far side the Husky training staff. And that is Jamar Summers, the senior out of East Orange, New Jersey, number 21 for Randy Edsel's side, who's shaken up.
A lot of inexperience in this secondary for UConn, so they can't afford a loss, especially of their best defensive back, a senior.
And as Summers limps off, we see below us Darrell Henderson is getting a quick tape job sitting on a bench on the Memphis sideline. So don't know if that's just kind of like making a quick pit stop in racing, or if they're trying to protect a little something with Henderson. So Dorland Dorcius will come in. Both these teams have had significant injury problems, Memphis particularly on the defensive side of the ball, but they are missing a very fine back in Patrick Taylor tonight. Defensively, they're missing Curtis Akins, and they've had a player rejected for targeting. We'll talk more about that when Memphis goes out defensively. Ferguson, play action fake, wanted the deep shot. It was covered. Ferguson now ad-libbing, and sort of flung that at the last second to draw the incompletion. Chris Britton, 33, was chasing him, and the line judge is calling it an incomplete pass.
Yeah, this was great coverage by UConn, and there was some pressure, but they still lost contained. But the coverage, this is really a coverage sack. They're all over the place. He had no place to throw. Good job by Riley Ferguson flipping the ball out of bounds just so it goes back to the line of scrimmage.
Dorcius stays into the tailback position. He'll get the carry now. Dorcius popping through and carrying a tackler into Huskies territory. He's going to be down at the 46-yard line. A 16-yard pickup. Diggs cut him down. And 29. Watkins landed on top of him.
Dorcius is healthy. He got hurt early in the year. He's rested.
And he's a strong runner. You get a good look there as he goes one-on-one with Harry Wilson and is taken down at the 43-yard line. That'll be a 5-yard pickup. Second down and 5.
And our fans are missing Patrick Taylor, who's 6'3", 223, who's not playing tonight, who's probably their best back.
Dorcius just pecking his way through traffic. He'll get to the 39. Joseph with another stop for the Huskies. So that'll be 2 yards to go here on third down. Could very well be 2 plays ready here. Dorcius now a little bit slow getting up, grabbing his stomach. Tony Pollard takes over the tailback position.
When the offense substitutes, they allow the defense to substitute. The official stands over the ball.
Move the tight end Magnifico in as a blocker, and Pollard, this is going to be close. He needed to get to the 37-yard line. Joseph, number 11, playing such a passionate player to watch. Didn't look like he made it. And they have maybe a little less than 3 feet to go. Henderson is back in. 4 straight runs for Memphis. Make it 5. And make it a first down as Joseph will be there with another stop, but not until Memphis moves the chains.
Memphis had 52 snaps, 52 plays at halftime compared to UConn's 42. UConn is not very deep on defense, Dave, so fatigue could start being a factor here late third and fourth quarter.
Stay on the ground, a 6th straight run, and Henderson popping through and then is dragged down at the 32-yard line. He'll pick up 3. 7 to go on second down, and that's Harry Wilson with a stop.
We're seeing Memphis pound the line of scrimmage now for UConn because they know that they're getting tired. UConn defensive guys got their hands on their hip, Memphis still going at a fast pace.
Ferguson out in space to Miller. Miller will have a first down. And getting through, and if he had been able to keep his balance, that would have been a remarkable touchdown. Miller down at around, they're going to say exactly the 10-yard line. First down for the Tigers.
Very good block by number 13, Kadarian Jones. Memphis is doing a good job blocking on the perimeter.
And we're going to have flags.
Offense, number 86, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So back to the 15. That's a couple times now that we've seen Jones block downfield, Mac, where he has really been a key in helping the play.
Yes, he does the dirty work for him. He's the tough guy. Run pass option, he brings it out, he can hand it off, he can run it himself, or he can throw it. And actually, Miller's like his pitch guy on the option.
Fakes one way, comes back the other. Screen set up. This is Henderson. Henderson breaks one tackle, trying to get to that end zone. He's going to be stopped 8 yards short, as 29 Watkins was one of the tacklers there, along with Santana Sterling, number 47. So the 8, second down and goal.
Memphis is either running power or trying to get a fast guy in space on a slower defender for UConn.
12th play of this drive. They're going to run again. To the 5 goes Henderson. Third down and goal.
Once again, you're not kicking field goals. You'd like to have 7. You also are wearing down that Connecticut defense and keeping their offense off the field.
And Connecticut made a couple of changes, taking out some second stringers, bringing back the first stringers who were taking a little bit of a rest. 13th play of the drive. Ferguson, middle of the end zone, caught. Magnifico, touchdown, Memphis. Joey Magnifico, who had a big game against UCLA with 6 catches and a touchdown, gets his 3rd TD catch of the season. 6 touchdown passes for Riley Ferguson. And that's the second time I've seen him do it myself. He did 6 against Bowling Green a year ago in a rout in the Liberty Bowl. And he did 6 against UCLA. And he's done 6 against UConn.
Just communication issues, Dave, on the inside. Let the tight end slip to the back of the end zone. Ferguson looks left, turns back right, sets his feet, throws it in for the touchdown.
Well, Riley Ferguson is 1 shy of Paxton Lynch's Memphis touchdowns in a game record. Ferguson now 3 times in his career has done 6. And Lynch did 7 in 2013. Of course, Lynch having gone on to the NFL after lighting it up at Memphis.
So impressed with Riley Ferguson, especially since he had the 3 turnovers last week. He's come back tonight. He shook all that off, and he's playing at a very high, confident level. Biggest number in that is no interceptions.
Memphis has not turned the ball over. They have picked up a couple of UConn turnovers. Kyle Buss awaits the kick. He averages about 28 a pop, so he's a good one too. About a yard deep. Buss, it's a little bit of a gap that opened up in the wedge, and then he'll fight his way for about 3 or 4 additional yards just through tremendous effort by Buss out to the 29-yard line. Let's go back to the targeting call back in the first quarter when number 25 for Memphis, Austin Hall, was ejected. Take a look at the hit. Well, we had a chance to talk with the replay booth guys at halftime. And Mac, you and I both were not 100% sold on the call, but in speaking with the replay officials, they told us they saw contact to the chin strap, and that would make it targeting, and the ejection, which was upheld, would be the correct call. So Austin Hall is out for the remainder of this game. He is eligible to return when Memphis plays Navy next week in the Liberty Bowl. That's going to be tough. Meantime, UConn trying to fight their way back in this game. Markel Newsom, who busted a 64-yard touchdown run in the first half, to stop at the 34-yard line. It's 2nd and 5 coming up.
I still don't like the fact that they're on the road and Hall's sitting in the dressing room by himself. Let the young man come back out on the field, let him be around his coaches, let him coach the younger linebackers, and let him help lead his team.
Just take him out of uniform.
That's it. Take him out of uniform so he can't play.
That's a nice run there for Nate Hopkins.
He's punished enough because he can't remain on the field as a player. Let him come back out and join his team.
Hopkins a little struggling to get up. Now he can take himself out of the game. That'll bring number 22, Arkell Newsom, back in. Fake the jet sweep. Sheriff's plenty of time. Good throw. 35-yard line. That's Newsom. So good out of the backfield. And Newsom, 30 yards on that before he is brought down by Christian Johnson.
Wheel route with the tailback out of the backfield, putting him on the linebacker. Very well designed play. Good throw by Sheriffs.
A lot of pressure that time, and Sheriffs is sacked. That time, Ernest Suttles, redshirt senior out of Tampa, who still sells insurance in his spare time. In there on the sack.
Yeah, the right side of the offensive line, DeGeorge and Vandermark are really athletic, just not very strong. When you have a guy like Suttles that comes underneath on the move, they're not strong enough to keep him from penetrating and punishing the quarterback.
The 3 sacks from Memphis tonight equals what they had done in their first 4 games. Sheriffs looking again for Newsom, and he was pretty well covered that time. A touch of contact with the freshman T.J. Carter, who has an interception tonight. But 3rd down and 16.
Also looked like Newsom lost the ball in the lights or something. He never found the ball. It just went over his head. Now, you're not kicking field goals. It's 3rd down and 15, so try to get 10 of it back, 8 to 10, and then try to make your first down.
You like their basketball. Sheriffs trip, but stays up. Trying to make something go, and he'll get a little bit of the yardage back off of the sack, but it puts him in a 4th and long situation. Good coverage that time by the backside of the Memphis defense. It's going to be 4th and 13.
They know field goals aren't going to win the game. They've got to try to get touchdowns. So even on a 4th down and long, they've got to throw the ball beyond the chains. If you get it underneath, you got to break tackles. So get something beyond the chains and try to get your first.
Sheriffs avoids 1 rusher. They dump it off. They need to get to the 15-yard line, and he won't make it. Mason Donaldson with the effort, for the tackle by Tito Wyndham, who's made some big plays for the Tigers in the secondary. And Memphis takes over on downs.
Exactly what Memphis wanted. Get the ball in front of you, get it short, tackle in space, and get the turnover.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by the Quicksilver Card from Capital One. Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back. Every purchase, everywhere.
Well, Connecticut senior linebacker Vontae Diggs, very active within the community. He's on the watch list for the All-State AFCA Good Works team. That award, by the way, given to an athlete that combines exemplary community service with athletic and academic achievement. It's a major honor in the sport. On the ground with Dorstius, and he'll get thrown out of bounds after picking up a couple. For more on Vontae Diggs' story, let's go down to Jen.
Well, Vontae Diggs just returned a few weeks ago from having a meniscus tear in his left knee. While he was gone, he said it hurt his heart because football, you guys, saved his life. When Vontae was a kid, he was homeless, slept on a park bench, lived in a hotel for some time, and even in the back of an SUV. The 20-year-old would wash up in the McDonald's restrooms, and he says he still thinks about it on a daily basis, saying nothing he goes through now compares to what he went through then, and he says he knows that he can succeed in anything because of that experience.
Jen, thank you. We really enjoyed our conversation with Vontae yesterday.
What a special young guy, yeah. And there's so many real neat stories in college sports.
They run wide with Dorcius. He puts his foot in the ground and fights to the 35-yard line. That'll be a 4-yard pickup. 2nd down and 6 coming up. Colt Ormsby on the stop.
One of the things you loved in coaching was going into a home and getting to know the family and giving them maybe opportunities that they wouldn't have had without that college scholarship. And here's a great example.
Dorcius again up the gut. He'll get 3 more. So it'll be 3rd down and 3 coming up. Tukazi on the stop. Well, we've seen a little bit of everything tonight, Mac. We've seen Memphis pound it, and we have seen Memphis go deep for big plays.
Yeah, they've got a lot of arsenal on their offense. And
we see this little look in for a 1st down with Pop Williams making the catch. Jamar Summers is back in the game on the stop. That's a gain of 7 and a 1st down.
And if I'm the head coach at Memphis, I keep playing. It's too early in the game to pull out Ferguson, pull out your guys. You don't want to go to sleep. You don't want to sack the bats too early. Keep playing.
31st completion for Ferguson was a career high. We have a flag down.
It's number 66. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
They've been inconsistent. They've been mad about it. They've had so many drives stopped by turnovers, mostly penalties. That's a lack of focus right there. Keep your focus and finish this game.
10 penalties tonight. Could be a changing of the play here by Ferguson. He goes under center. Hands it off to Darrell Henderson, the sophomore out of Mississippi. Will pick up 3. So call it 2nd down and a dozen.
Talk about Diggs. What a great play. Stepping up inside and being a run stopper on 1st down.
He is a senior from Downers Grove, Illinois. Vontae Diggs, part of the leadership council, and Randy Edsall installed, of players who chat with him every week.
We met with him yesterday. Very bright young man, fun to listen to.
On the run, Ferguson. That's Miller with his 14th catch. Well, I have to say, he said one of the funniest things I've ever heard a player say. And of course, he says it in front of you, talking about how many coaches he's played for. What was it he said that they all want you to do? They say the same. What was it?
They all say the same things. They just say it in a different way.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. I thought that was a great guy who's gone through a lot.
He was. He's had 4 head coaches in 4 years. He has. I told him how to coach. I don't know what he's doing. He's heard everything. He's seen every scheme. Go coach. But he had a great smile. He's overcome so much. You wish him a lot of luck in his future.
Ferguson, they screen it and incomplete. Trying to work it into Henderson. There's so many people in there. I don't know how Ferguson could even find the receiver to hit him with the pass. 2nd 10 coming up.
I like the fact that UConn's defense is still playing hard. That's what they're doing. They're trying to build a culture. They're trying to build some confidence. They're trying to get to a point where they can start winning again.
Ferguson, look out from behind, ball's out! Still fought for at the 45-yard line. Did Ferguson get it back? I think he did. Ormsby forced the fumble, and a lucky break from Memphis that it went right back to Riley Ferguson.
When you're in traffic, quarterback, tuck it away. Don't leave it hanging out because you're not sure who's behind you, and that's the guy that can strip it every time. And Ormsby comes in, strips the ball, but now Connecticut's got to get on that ball. If it's on the ground, get on it. You've got to own it. It's got to be your ball.
It's a loss of 11.
Ball on it. Right there, Diggs. Get on the ball.
3rd and 21. They motion Pollard out of the slot into the backfield. And they'll give it to Pollard. 45. And fighting for some additional yardage. It'll be 4th down at about 8. Junior Joseph and Bryce McAllister on the stop. But Memphis got some of that back and actually gave themselves halfway decent field position for the short punter. We're not talking about his size, of course. Nick Jacobs' job is to try to chip this thing inside the 20-yard line, and he got it down to the 3 the last time he punted. Pollard stays in to cover special teams. He already has a big hit on special teams today. Jacobs does his job again. See the spin on that? Looked like you would get from a sand wedge in golf. He spins that thing down to the 13-yard line. So the talents of Nick Jacobs may help his defense out against Brian Sheriff's and the Huskies offense. It is time for a look at tonight's Backstage Pass. You know, we're playing in Hartford. The Connecticut campus is in stores. How does the band deal with all of that? Well, they got to load it up. They do it themselves, loading up all the equipment onto buses, on equipment trucks, whatever it takes. And it's about a 25-mile trip. Look how focused these young people are as they get ready. Looks like they're about to play a game themselves. And of course, they got to unload it all. No roadies for a college band. And then ready to go to Pratt & Whitney Stadium in East Hartford on game day. So congratulations to those men and women for the hard work they put into it. We get ready now for this drive, beginning with an incompletion from Sheriffs. Could not see a receiver that close to him. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 coming up. You almost feel like this is UConn's last stand in a way when they have the ball here.
Well, they've definitely got to get the ball on the other end. They can't leave it on this end of the field. They need to get some points. They need to get some confidence. Still a lot of time left, but they haven't moved the ball lately.
Get it out to Donaldson. He fights to the 20-yard line for a solid gain of 7. There's a flag down, and there's also a Tigers player down at the 20-yard line.
Personal foul. Block below the waist. Offense, number 72, half the distance to the goal. 2nd down.
And it's Brendan Veshery, who is back at a center position he had a couple of years ago. UConn moving around some linemen. And Veshery moved from tackle into center. Can't get a clear look yet at who is down for Memphis. And Mike Norvell going out now. Take a look at one of his players. And we hear it's Tim Hart. And he is the starting middle linebacker for this team. Redshirt freshman from Memphis. There's a good look at number 35. And happy to say that he is walking off under his own power. So hopefully he will be able to return.
Head coach walks out there, number 1, to make sure he's okay. Number 2, to send a message to mom and dad that he's safe and okay. And number 3, settle the young man down because he's nervous and scared. And he's not around the doctors near as much as he is, that head coach.
So after the penalty, back to the 10-yard line we go. 2nd down, 13. Memphis walked up a defensive back as Newsom is tripped up for a loss back at the 6-yard line by Sharif White, the senior from Grenada, Mississippi. He and Gerard Avery, both from Grenada, both excellent defensive players.
Really good penetration up front. Penetration against the offensive line. Changes the line of scrimmage, forces Newsom deep for the big loss.
5 tackles for a loss, Mac, so far for the Tigers defense tonight.
Now you got trouble 3rd down and 15. You got to have something safe. Still got to try to make the 1st down.
Newsom pats the ball, fires into traffic, and it's incomplete. Trying to force that ball into Aaron McLean. Christian Slaughter, 39, was on the coverage. And UConn will be punting from its own end zone here. Or pretty close to it.
Yeah, that's a poor throw. It was thrown into double coverage. There wasn't anything there. UConn has got to be able to move the ball to get back in this ball game. Now Memphis is going to have a short field. UConn's 1 of 8 on 3rd downs tonight, and that was one of the real issues they felt coming into this ball game that they had to improve.
Low kick, fielded at the 48-yard line by Williams, making a move. 40 Williams to the 31-yard line. Beautiful field position here for Memphis. Let's check into studio in Denver. Pulisic. Good to hear that, Ed, and congrats to Team USA. Dorsius, the tailback. Ferguson looking in that direction, screens the other way, and it's tipped. Excellent defensive play by Luke Carazola. Remember, he had been shaken up earlier, but has come back, played very well, and he comes up with the deflection, 2nd down and 10.
Sometimes when the defensive front gets tired, screens are not as effective because they're not rushing as hard. They get tired and they put the big hand up and bat the ball down. That's 14 rushes and 10 passes in this second half for play selection. So Memphis is trying to establish the running game in the second half.
Earl Henderson is back in, number 8 of the tailback. Ferguson throws, looking for Miller. Did he hang on to this one? He did. Holy smokes. Seriously. 7 touchdown passes for Riley Ferguson, tying the Paxton Lynch record.
Bryce McAllister, the safety for UConn, has him covered as well as you can possibly cover him. He's looking back for the ball. What a grab. Underthrown ball. Anthony Miller is showing us tonight why he is one of the better receivers in the country and gives Memphis a chance to win every week.
That's his 4th touchdown catch. He has a season's worth for some receivers tonight, Mac. 15 catches, 224, and 4 touchdowns.
He has such great body control. That ball in the air, it's thrown behind him like the other 2 touchdowns. This guy is an acrobat in the air. Ball's thrown up top, turns back over the defensive back, reaches out, good concentration for the score.
Just a boss night for Riley Ferguson tonight, now tying a Paxton Lynch record for most touchdown passes in Memphis history with his 7th. And by the way, Anthony Miller has 4 of those. 15 catches, 224. And you get the sense that both those guys feel just invincible tonight. Also, Riley Ferguson with a Tiger Scholar patch that means so much to the Memphis players. There's a lot to the young man. He might even have a chance to play in the National Football League. Largest lead of the night for Memphis to 25. Buss will grab it to the 1. This is beautifully covered by Memphis. And the ball gets out to the 13-yard line and brought down to the 8. The recovery made by Christian Slaughter. And the ruling on the field is a fumble. And the hit was made by Kalon Hart, 37, who tore it out. And Slaughter, a defensive back, quickly scooped it and nearly brought it in for the 3rd Tigers turnover of the night.
Five fumbles for the night, 2 lost. Great job by the Memphis defensive players of stripping the ball loose.
What is this, a championship belt they have in Memphis? Everybody's got a little something now. We saw the turnover chain last week, a championship belt. Love, by the way, love seeing the straps, the championship straps. I got to admit, I'm a huge fan.
That makes the difference in winning and losing, so that's why all the coaches are trying to make such an emphasis.
And off Dorsius. Touchdown, straight ahead, virtually untouched. And that's something unusual tonight for Memphis, a rushing touchdown.
But something they wanted to emphasize, and I think you're seeing Mike Norvell try to have a physical second half and get better in his running game and be more balanced. There's an X stunt up front where the 2 tackles crossed, and it's blocked perfectly up inside by the big pulling guard, and Dorsius with good vision cuts back for an easy score.
So Dorsius, and it's good news for Tigers fans to see him back and healthy and as frisky as he was a year ago. Well, just a huge night for Riley Ferguson and such a turnaround from a week ago. Tonight, 7 touchdown passes, 4 of those to the brilliant Anthony Miller.
Got to give him a lot of credit. He could have gone in the tank. He could have gotten his head down. He could have been arguing with the coaches about play selection, but none of that happened tonight. He came in with a really good attitude. He stood strong. He's been hit. He's scrambled. He's thrown the ball downfield for a bunch of nice passes and scores, and he's got a great attitude.
Nobody did talk to the coaches, and for more on that, we go to Jen.
Well, guys, we were told by Mike Norvell that last week's game against UCF was Riley Ferguson's worst game in a Memphis uniform, but on the plane ride home from Orlando, Riley got up out of his seat, walked back to where his coach was sitting, sat down, looked him in the eye, and said, "Coach, that will never happen again. You have my word." Norvell didn't feel like he needed to say anything after that. And guys, it certainly looks like he kept his word in this evening's game.
He won't have to go to his head coach tonight. The head coach going to go to him. I can promise you, and give him a big hug. Been there, done that.
This will be a touchback for Connecticut with 1:25 to go in this third quarter. You can call him Mitch. You can call him Mitchell. You can call him the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears. They'll be the Black and Blue division for the Week 5 Monday night matchup. The Vikings and the Bears at Soldier Field. The coverage begins with a Monday night countdown served by Applebee's at 6 Eastern on ESPN. The game, of course, is available on ESPN2 and Espanol.
Be fun to watch Mitch play Monday night. Rookie from the University of North Carolina. Did such a great job there.
Very, very accurate thrower in college. He had some good receivers at USC as well. Newsom the tailback for the Huskies. Down the middle of the field. Tough hit made there at the 43. Great catch by Tyler Davis.
People would say, what if you're Connecticut's coaches? What do you tell them? You tell them to keep playing because they've got to continue to get better. They're not going to win this game, but you can still improve on a lot of little things throughout the fourth quarter.
They're going to pick up a nice gain there of 9 yards for Arkel Newsom. We're taking a little bit look here, Mac, at what's ahead for Memphis. They got a tough one. We have a Memphis player still down at the 48-yard line. And a little problem, looks like, with the left leg. I'll say Memphis' next game, they'll be at the Liberty Bowl, but they play Navy. Coach Niamat's got a nice little team again for Navy. And UConn will head to Philly and play Temple on the 14th.
In coaching, you always say you are who you are and how you play all the time. So you shouldn't look at the scoreboard. So Connecticut's coaches are telling them, you continue to play hard, like it's the first quarter and the first play of the game, or like it's a tie game.
That is number 48, the redshirt senior Ernest Suttles, one of the leaders of this Memphis team. And always good to see them get up and be able to, for the most part, walk off under their own juice. He has a sack and a tackle for a loss tonight. Second down and a yard to go here for UConn. 52 seconds remaining here at Pratt & Whitney at Rensselaer Field. Newsom, he'll find a first down and get to that second level, get to the 42-yard line. That'll be a first down for Connecticut. Gain of 7. Senior running back Newsom.
Memphis defensive coach is going to tell them the same thing. Act like the score is 0-0. You're standing around, you're getting low pads, and they're running the football against you.
Sheriffs that pass behind the intended receiver. That was Newsom coming out of the backfield. Hit him in the shoulder pads, stopping the clock with 32 seconds left in this third quarter. Huffman coverage. Following us, it'll be Boise State, BYU. They've had some highly entertaining games in the last few years. And Bloom was the intended receiver there. UConn fans wanting a flag, not getting it. Avery was in coverage.
Jernard Avery is a guy who can rush the passer and he can cover. Those guys are hard to find. You can use him in a lot of different ways.
Sheriffs was being chased by 3 white-shirted defenders and tried to get it to Arkell Newsom. The pass was just too low and outside. So 4th down coming up. 25 seconds remaining in this quarter.
Yeah, Brian Sheriff's got a little frustrated here in the late second quarter and early third quarter. He's in a position where he needed to make that play. He didn't have enough pressure on him. Put the ball on your running back and get the first down.
Williams at around the 10-yard line, awaiting this punt from Graham. And Williams makes a fair catch at the 14-yard line. It's a good job that time by Graham to get that inside the 20-yard line. Well, let's go back and revisit the Riley Ferguson story, because it would make certainly a very interesting magazine article, if not a book. Let's go to 2013. Star running quarterback, I should say, out of Butler High in North Carolina. A couple of state titles. Then he goes to Tennessee. Got hurt. Didn't work out there. Takes a year off in 2014. Goes to Coffeyville Community College. Becomes the #1 JC player. And then the last 2 seasons now at Memphis, where he has had some huge games. Several with 6 touchdown passes. Tonight he has 7 touchdown passes. And now he has a seat on the bench as David Moore will come in to replace him. Here's Henderson on the carry. And he will get to the 33, maybe the 34-yard line for a first down. I am still blown away by the fact that after he left Knoxville, Mac, he was out of football doing odd jobs and just could not find a home.
So said he was painting fences and detailing cars. I think you get tired of that and go back to school.
We have 3 quarters down on the books in this American Conference tilt with Memphis with a huge run in the second and third quarters. 56-24. At the end of the first quarter, Connecticut had a 7-point lead, but Memphis behind 7. Riley Ferguson touchdown passes, 4. Anthony Miller touchdown catches, built a big lead.
Building relationships is so important to head Memphis coach Mike Norvell. He told Riley Ferguson, his starting quarterback, when he was replacing Paxton Lynch, yes, you're replacing a guy who everybody loved, who was quite successful. Don't try to be him. Be yourself, go in and work. So one of the things that Ferguson did in 2016 was to attend every single position player's workout. He started it early in the morning and went late at night. Just wanted all of the players on his team to know that he was there for him, that he was going to put in the work and could be counted on. He certainly has shown that this evening, guys.
7 touchdown passes you saw, matching one of their quarterback this year. So Dorlan Dorsey is with the carry. David Moore, who redshirted last year out of Alpharetta, Georgia, and Milton High School, is now the quarterback. Number 2. 8 there, second down and 2. Great chance here for Dorsey to get the reps back. He has missed. There's so few carries coming into this game. He only had 4. Picks up another one here, bounces off. Energetic as always, Dorsey is, and he's finally down at the 43-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Tigers. Herring Wilson brings him down.
It's always a fine line, too, when a guy like Dorsey has been out. You want to get him in game shape, and to do that, you have to play him, but you don't want to play him so much that he gets hurt again. So it's always on the head coach's mind.
That was his 14th carry for 79 yards. Tough throw, and Moore makes it off his back foot, caught by Slade, and Slade will be pushed back right around midfield. Dorsey has to reach 2,000 for his career, Mac. Needed 107 yards tonight.
One thing I did poorly as a head coach was when we were way ahead, putting the second team quarterback in, not letting him play. It's important you have your whole offensive package in for this quarterback like you did when Riley Ferguson was in.
Dorsey is fighting, turning a 0 play into a 1-yard gain. Connor Freeborn, number 88, on the stop for UConn. Well, how about that fine line between looking like you're rubbing it in and letting your second and third teamers get a sweat?
It's really tough, but you should let your second and third teamers play because they've earned that right to play, and they're one snap away from playing because of lack of depth.
Moore on the keeper. And he'll get to the 20-yard line before he is cut down. That'll be another first down for the Tigers. Tackle made by Jamar Summers. Gain of 10.
Moore can run fast.
Well, this might be his team next year. Who knows? Riley Ferguson will be gone. Dorcius, 35. Dorcius, 30. And dragged down at the 27-yard line by Summers. That's 13 yards for Dorcius as he gets ever closer to 2,000 for his career.
The Connecticut coaches are pushing their guys. Do not let them get in the end zone. You got fresh second teamers out on the field. Some starters still out there for Memphis. You've got to step up and make a stop.
Dorsey is now with 94. Needs 13 more to reach 2,000. And he's going to get it. And he's going to find his way in the end zone. The redshirt senior from New Orleans with a touchdown. And Memphis will cross the 60 barrier.
Yeah, that was a very poor series by UConn's defense. They didn't look like they were into it. They didn't tackle well in space. They've got to regroup and play for the last 12 minutes of this game.
Dorsey now has carried the ball 17 times for 120 and a couple of touchdowns. If they get Taylor back and you have Henderson, Dorsey and Pollard who occasionally carries it but is a slot receiving threat, you've got, and of course you have Miller and Ferguson, you've got a very potent and varied attack.
And Mayhew. There's a lot of skill.
Memphis team, that game against Navy next weekend is going to be interesting. A varied offensive Memphis versus the triple option of the Naval Academy. That's a heck of an achievement when you can do that in your college career, to run for over 2,000 yards. So our congratulations to Darlin Dorcius. Memphis comfortably in front here on their way to victory, ranking up 63 tonight.
Big, powerful back with speed. This American Conference race is going to get really interesting for the rest of the year. It's going to be fun to watch.
Temple is in East Carolina tomorrow on ESPNU. Air Force plays at Navy. Tulsa Tulane was moved to an earlier start on ESPN3. SMU goes into Houston, and UCF is in Cincinnati tomorrow on ESPNU at 8 o'clock Eastern. That's the rest of the American schedule for this weekend. Bus the goal line. Trying to fight his way through, and it's a nice return from Bus. He gets outside the 30 to around the 31 before Augustus in there on stop. Let's check in with Ed Anver. Provo is someplace to watch a game too, and thank you very much. Either of those towns, really, you can't go wrong with either Boise or Provo for a beautiful setting. Newsom and Mensah in the backfield now. It'll be Mensah straight ahead for a 2-yard gain, second down and 8. Now an opportunity for some of the Memphis third stringers to get in. Joseph Dorcius. And now we have a Connecticut player slow to get up. That's Cam DeGeorge, the right guard, number 70. Looking at an ankle there for him.
Yeah, coaches are really excited about DeGeorge and Vandermark on that right side. Really athletic. Got to get a little stronger. Redshirt freshmen and true freshmen. But they feel like they have length. They're knee benders. They're very athletic and can be super players in the future.
Tomorrow, the Paul Bunyan Trophy on the line at the Big House. Michigan State and number 7 Michigan, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC, and of course streaming live on the ESPN app. Presented by Wells Fargo. Saturday night, Michigan State, Michigan, ABC. Newsom the tailback. Sheriffs goes underneath. Good tackle, 39-yard line. Newsom brought down by the shoe by Sharif White. And White just did not let go. So 3rd down and 3 coming up. Late substitution here for Connecticut. So Memphis has the right to match. As Mac mentioned, the officials will move in and allow Memphis to sub, which they didn't take in this case. Skanes goes in motion. Sheriff's quick throw into the face of the pressure. He got hit, but Skanes comes away with the football and a 1st down, and Sheriff's pops right back up.
It's a good point with no substitution. They don't have anybody to substitute. You have to go back and put your starters back in. And they're already tired on that bench, so they're not going back in. They've sacked those bats.
UConn is now 2 out of 10 on 3rd down. That is a key stat in the game today, especially going back to the first half. They really struggled on 3rd downs on both sides of the ball.
We see Connecticut slowing it down too. They understand 4th quarter, 10 minutes left. Let's get this thing over with. But they're still trying to work on their offense and get some things done.
And football has become the odd sport where going slower makes the game faster. By slowing the pace of your offense and taking more time off the clock, it actually speeds the game up.
And Rhett Lashley told us that sometimes hurry up is screw it up. He did tell us that when the defense is struggling, you don't need 3 and outs.
Here's Beals, and he'll get hit out of bounds and too far out of bounds. This is going to be a personal foul penalty against Memphis as well on Josh Perry for the tackle out of bounds. So UConn will get some nice field position out of this.
And this is a good drive by UConn. It's they're still trying to score, and it doesn't matter who's out there on defense. That's not your responsibility.
After the play, personal foul. They hit out of bounds. Defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Young guys out there playing. He is out of bounds. That one's close, but when he is out of bounds far enough that he can't come back in, you cannot touch him.
They go underneath. Pass by Sheriff, caught by Davis with another grab on the night for Tyler Davis. And that'll be a chain mover. 1st down for UConn to the Memphis 13-yard line.
And the Huskies still have their first team out there, but they're still learning. They have to continue to work and get better to get this thing turned back in the right direction.
Newsom on the ground to the 5. Newsom with a nice move, and he's into the end zone. Great run by Arkel Newsom. 93 points in this game.
Yeah, that was a good drive. Good focus, good drive at a time that's very disappointing for UConn for them to take it down and score. Really, really good play. Got to give them credit for that.
Well, Newsom came into the game averaging 1.7 yards per carry. Tonight he has 114 yards on 9 carries and 2 scores. So Arkel Newsom with a breakout game tonight for UConn. 63-31. May reach 100 points before this one's over with.
ESPN College Football. Brought to you by Principal. Investments, retirement, insurance.
Take a look at the Burton Family Football Complex right there on the UConn campus in Stores. It is gorgeous. Built 11 years ago, it was the first LEED, that's Leadership in Energy and Environment Design, certified facility in the country. It's 165,000 square feet. They have the indoor practice bubble, all their conditioning facilities, the sports medicine clinic, meeting rooms, briefing room, broadcast facility, a cafeteria for the players. I mean, it's a nice building. Very close to the famed Gamble Pavilion. Well, they kicked it to Tony Pollard. Let's see what happens. They're going to get him. Man has returned 2 on the season and is averaging 40 yards per pop. Is brought down by Tyler Coyle at the 26-yard line. Take you back. Rose Bowl, 2006. That man, Lee Corso, picks Mac Brown's Texas Longhorns to win the national title. Kirk Herbstreit picked the other guys.
Can you believe Kirk Herbstreit picked the other guys?
Can. And by the way, we all know who was right. And tomorrow's a big day on game day. The coach's 300th headgear. We have a penalty marker down here. And in teams for you, when he picked for you, pretty good. When he picked against you, he won too. He must know what he's doing.
Yeah, I should have asked you. I should have watched more game day when I was coaching. I'd have had an idea whether we were going to win the game or not.
Offense, number 50 and 75. That's a half the distance to the goal. First down.
This is the second time we've had a chop block penalty called tonight. We've had a targeting call that resulted in the ejection of Memphis's Austin Hall. He will be eligible to return. It was the first half ejection, so he will be able to play Saturday against Navy in the Liberty Bowl. Memphis now with an even dozen penalties.
But they have been 5 for 5 in the red zone, which was a concern, and 11 of 17 on third down. So they're going to leave tonight feeling a lot better about their consistency on offense.
Moore, a little run pass option. It's completed out to the 15-yard line, and that's going to be Moore to the 33, to the 34 for Shane Slade. And let's check in with Adnan Burke. Adnan. Yes. A rare feat, and you're absolutely right. That will be on, of course, with the crew tomorrow. As Moore will keep this one. He's got room to run. He'll get into UConn territory, brought down at the 46-yard line. Watkins brings him down. That's an impressive pickup for the redshirt freshman from Georgia. 22 yards.
This guy's fast. You look at David Moore, he comes out with a run pass option. He turns it up. Easy first down for the young quarterback.
Made the right decision there.
And you can see Memphis is slowing it down now. They're trying to get this thing over with and go home. And over 90 plays for Memphis tonight, only 66 for Connecticut. The Connecticut defense is just worn out.
Dorcius. Ridden down for no gain by Sheridan Lawley, number 50, out of British Columbia.
Dave, you mentioned our Saturday show. Kevin Nagandi and Booger and I are having fun. You sit there and watch 24 games all day with ABC countdown to kickoff, and you get to see the world of college football. And what person out there wouldn't like doing that? It's a cool job on Saturdays. A lot of fun. And I'll get to watch Coach Corso in the morning. I'll get to see game day, so that's fun.
Well, he'll be in Texas, in Fort Worth, West Virginia TCU game. Incomplete pass there. Game day, 9 a.m. Eastern.
We have all gotten so used to watching Coach Lee Corso put that headdress on of some kind to tell you which team he is picking for so many years now. It's fun. It's just part of the tradition and history that we have at ESPN and with college football. Good for him. Coach still has a tremendous amount of energy, and he takes pride in those picks, too.
Moore out to the 41 to the 42, fighting for first down yardage. And that is going to be, I think it is a first down at the 36-yard line. Ross Burcham, tight end for Memphis, getting an opportunity. I can't imagine a Saturday morning without him.
No.
And
it's been so long we wouldn't remember one without him.
No, we wouldn't.
He was a great coach. He's been a friend of mine for many, many years, and I just love being around him, love watching him, love his energy.
A sense of humor, too.
Not so fast, my friend.
I use that line a lot myself. Just an everyday conversation. Dorcius slipped. Turf Monster got him at the 33-yard line. Getting 2 there. Second down and 8 coming up. Under 6 minutes left in this battle. Memphis will improve to 1-1 in the conference and 4-1 overall.
Dream night for Mike Norvell. He gets to work his backup quarterback. He gets all of his twos to play. Moms are happy. Families are happy. Helps recruiting. Helps you with your depth. It's just a wonderful night. You can't get your backup quarterback many live reps in a lot of situations. So they'll go home happy.
And they'll know they can bounce back after a defeat. It does not take long to fly from Orlando to Memphis, but it probably felt like a long flight a week ago. This will be a longer flight in miles, but probably a shorter flight in mind. And all sorts of flags coming in as there was something after the play. And we also have a Connecticut player away from the flags down on the near sideline around the 35-yard line, just outside the hash.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 21, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. That's number 21's first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
A second would result in an ejection. Timeout for the injury on the field, with Memphis firmly in charge. All right, and thank you very much. Riley Ferguson's evening. Part of has been over for a while. David Moore has taken over in this fourth quarter. Memphis is creeping up to a total yardage record for a game. They have 690 already. I think at 15 more, they'll break a record for yards in a game. And Dorcius having a big night in this second half. He'll pick up 4 more. I mean, they're going to give him 5 now, so it'll be second down and 5.
Coaches and players that are out there listening also understand one of the more fun times for a college football team is in the dressing room after a win on the road and taking that trip home together.
And Connecticut, you've got to go back last century, almost 100 years since they've given up this many points. Memphis could break that record. Moore. Got a receiver in the end zone. If he wanted it, he'll go out of bounds instead. And that's close to a first down, but one official has him marked short by a yard. Stops the clock, 4:15 remaining in this one. try to go right up the middle with the QB on the sneak, and looks like it's going to be a first down for David Moore.
This is a tough situation for Mike Norvell. You really don't want to score, but you may not can help it. You hand the ball off up inside. You can see they're letting the clock run down. Try and get this one over.
701 total yards. Well, they get 3 more wins here in Memphis. Now 2 more wins. They'll have the winningest senior class in Memphis history. Nothing going there. They'll actually maybe lose one. So Memphis football has become a factor in the game, certainly in the American Conference.
And Randy Edsall and his bunch just have to go recruit. They'll get more players, more depth. He's the right guy being back in Connecticut. He knows these high school coaches. He's been successful here before, but he also knows they've got a lot of work to do.
Well, he is an avid jogger. Takes an early morning 5-mile run. He says it clears his head. Takes a lot off his mental plate. He might run an extra mile tomorrow morning. After this one, Moore out in space. That'll be maybe a yard back to Slade. Take a look at Riley Ferguson and tonight's performance with Comfort Zone, brought to you by Wrangler. And what a performance it was. Pollard with one there. Just throws it up. Knows Miller's going to defeat most defensive backs he's going to run into. So a big night for Ferguson and a great win for Memphis, bouncing back after a tough loss to UCF. Moore looking at the end zone. Big fight for that football, knocked out of bounds. Trying to get it to Coxie, and Trey Bell punches it away. Tonight after Boise State and BYU on ESPN. Stick around for SportsCenter at night with Stan Verrett and Linda Cohn from LA. They'll have the highlights of both college football matchups, baseball's 4 division series games, the NHL, NBA preseason, latest from the NFL, and everything else. SportsCenter at night, of course, streaming live on the ESPN app. 4th down. Moore. That's Slade. Slade to the 5. Slade to the end zone. But there's a flag down at the 6-yard line.
Personal foul. Defense number 50. Continuing action without a helmet. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. The result of the play is a touchdown.
So right there, 100 points. And that has tied the most points allowed record. And of course now you'll have the PAT here to put us over 100 and would break the record for the most points given up by Connecticut in their football history, which goes back a long way. People may not know this, but UConn's been playing since early in the last century.
Coach Edsall told us, until they can start winning, they got to find things tonight that they did better than last weekend and try to build on them. And that's what you do. And he's playing a really good team tonight. You got to look hard, but you'll find some things that you're doing well, and then you know all the things that you didn't do well that you got to get fixed.
Well, that's a record for total yards for Memphis, 711, and the record for most points against Connecticut at 70. We have a $142 remaining in this one.
We got to remember, at one point, this was 21-21 ball game.
It was 14-7 UConn at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, right before the half, 21-21.
Yep.
So they'll go back to fast start, and that they played well early and then turned the ball over too much. They didn't make enough third downs. They didn't score in the red zone. Got to tackle better in space on defense. Memphis will go home. Coach Norvell can yell at them about still too many penalties.
And he has a reason to do that. They're in the double digits on penalties tonight. I think it was 12 the last count we had. But Randy Edsall has tasted success at Connecticut before. 15-yard penalty for playing without your helmet. If you aren't aware of that rule, once your helmet comes off, you basically have to freeze. You cannot continue to play when your helmet comes off. And in the case of the UConn defender Lawley, that's exactly what he did. That is an immediate penalty. And so that's why we had a line drive kickoff from the 15-yard line. David Pindell, the junior, actually started the Holy Cross game at the beginning of the year, is now the quarterback to finish this game up for the Huskies. Be 1-4 and 0-3 in conference play. Trip to Philadelphia and Temple on the plate for next weekend. Jason Thompson, the tailback. Brian Sheriff's finished his night 21 of 35 for 310 with a pick and the touchdown pass. He's had over 1,100 yards in his last 3 games passing.
Classy move by Connecticut. Run the ball. Let the clock run out. Let's head home.
Giving Thompson a couple of carries here near the end of the game.
Brian Sheriffs did some really good things tonight, as you said, over the last 3 weeks. Missed a few key throws. Right now, because they're not a very talented team or experienced team, they have to do everything perfect. So they've just got to keep trying to find ways to win a ball game.
Bedell looked like he wanted to let loose. Instead, he's going to be sacked. And that's Dorcius with the sack. So it's a big night for the Dorciuses out there. Dorsai? Anyway, he comes up with a sack, and it's going to be 4th down. I want to take a moment, of course, as always, to thank our crew and to thank everybody from Memphis and Connecticut, coaches for their time, folks for helping arrange all of that. We certainly have had a couple of great meetings with these guys. I want to thank our group here as well. And it'll be all smiles back to the great city of Memphis. Dorcius with 2 rushing touchdowns. Miller 4 receptions. Ferguson 7 touchdowns. Memphis wins this one 70-31. Coming up next, Boise State versus BYU. We say so long from East Hartford, Connecticut. Good night, everybody.